Phil.
My husband's jealousy and paranoia has taken over him.
Behind their marriage.
Are you out of control with your jealousy?
Sometimes I am. I don't trust my wife.
Beneath the surface.
You put a recording device under her pillow. You put a tracking device on her car. You check her underwear. Do you need to catch her cheating to prove yourself right?
Yeah, I am looking at concrete evidence.
Lies an ugly truth.
Did you tell her not to do that crying and sobbing thing that she does?
No, I just asked her to try not to get too emotional.
He doesn't like it when I cry because he knows that he really hurts me.
Consumed by jealousy.
There's this evil, controlling trust issue that he has. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If it matters to you, that's what I want to talk about.
We ready in the booth?
Let's do it.
Go, Dr. Phil.
What if you don't have any evidence that your partner might be cheating? I mean, you got nothing. But yet jealousy consumes your every thought. Now, my first guess says she feels like a prisoner in her own home because her husband's jealousy and even paranoia have taken over every aspect of her life. Now, let's hear from her husband first. This is Mike.
The biggest problem in our marriage is I don't trust my wife. Before we got married, she had told me she had been with 4 men. After we got married, she admitted to having sex with 7 men. I put a voice recorder under my wife's pillow the first time that I thought she had been unfaithful, and I've been trying to catch her ever since. I have the surveillance tape that I have outside the home. I was rewinding the surveillance tape and I noticed that she was making gestures. It was the 2 of us on the porch, and then somebody was in behind us, off camera's view, and it seemed like she was just trying to get his attention behind my back. I confronted her about it and she denied it and played it off like it was simple hand gestures. It's a nauseous feeling when you think someone's being unfaithful or not telling you the truth, and just very sickening. It's hard to love somebody you don't trust.
Well, let's hear from his wife, Paula, see what she has to say.
I feel that I have been mentally and emotionally abused for 5.5 years. My husband thinks that I've cheated on him. He just doesn't believe anything I have to say. He makes up crazy, unbelievable stories. I've been called whore, slut, bitch. His jealousy and paranoia has taken over him, and he has accused me of having sex with a neighbor. I have been secretly recorded at night. My husband also checks my mouth at night because I started whispering in my sleep, and he thinks I'm hiding something in my mouth. Sometimes he'll stick his fingers in there just to swab my mouth to see if I'm hiding something. There are times where he has checked my underwear. If I have any stains on it, he will question me about the stains. He has taken my clothes to get tested. My husband does have tracking devices on my car, so he knows where I am at all given times. If I'm taking a long time driving home, if there's extra traffic and I'm 5 minutes late, he will call me and ask me where I'm at. He checks my cell phone on a regular basis, goes through all my emails. I have done 2 polygraph tests. My husband thinks I've passed both lie detector tests. He thinks that I've performed sexual favors to both gentlemen. I am afraid of him more and more every day. I don't know how to help my husband. I don't know if anybody can. I don't know how to function some days. I hate him. Sometimes I wish he was dead. I know it's a bad thing to say. It would just be so much easier for me. You're my last hope.
Okay. Mike, tell me what your hope is for being here today.
Basically, I want to trust her. I've never really caught her in any lie. Well, I've caught her in small lies, but I don't have any concrete evidence that she has been unfaithful. And just the paranoia thought of her being unfaithful, me not being able to prove it, I want to be.
Was there anything in that tape that was not true?
About sleeping with both lie detector or polygraph examiners, that wasn't true.
You don't think she necessarily slept with them,
No.
but you think she manipulated them?
Yeah.
Sexual favors?
I might have mentioned that for the second one, yes, but I didn't really.
Listen, I'm not here to throw you under the bus or you either one, but I can't help you if we're not completely honest about what's going on here. If you, because I think you think that sometimes you're over the top with this.
Yes.
Are you out of control with your jealousy?
Sometimes I am, yeah, and I don't. It's not a comfortable feeling. I don't enjoy it, and yeah, I feel guilty treating her that way because I do love her, and
Do you think she's cheating on you?
I think she has in the past, yeah.
Since you've been married?
Yes.
Are you okay for her to speak openly and freely here today?
Yes, I am.
Did you tell her not to do that crying and sobbing thing that she does at the shoot yesterday? Did you tell her not to be pulling that stuff up here?
No, I just asked her to try not to get too emotional. When she gets emotional, I get emotional myself.
What did he tell you?
He doesn't like it when I cry because I think he knows that he really hurts me, and he sees the hurt that way, and he doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to see the hurt.
You put a recording device under her pillow?
Under my pillow, yes.
Under the pillow so you could record if she what, talked in her sleep?
Or talked on the phone, yes.
Or if you were asleep and she got on the phone?
Yes.
Because you think she wouldn't get out of bed to do that? Because she might wake you up?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, no, I'm trying to understand. Seriously, you think she would?
I had actually left the house. I was out, so I had left it on, yes.
I see. So you'd leave it on when you were gone?
Yes.
So you could pick her up if she was laying in bed talking to some guy?
Yes, sir.
What'd you find on that?
I didn't find anything conclusive. I thought I heard something, but I don't know. I can't make out what it was on the tape.
Okay. You put a tracking device on her car?
On my vehicle, yes.
When she drives?
Yes.
Did you find her going anywhere she
Never.
wasn't supposed to go? You check her underwear sometimes?
I had done that in the past. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't done that in quite some time.
What were you checking for in her mouth when you put your fingers in her mouth?
Because she puts her hands to her mouth while she's sleeping in her ear, and I thought maybe she had put something in her mouth, so I'd asked her to see.
What would it be?
I have no idea.
Because I mean, I've heard it all, but that's a new, I had not heard about, what would it be, like a pill, you mean, or a...
I'm not sure if it's a listening device or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
A listening device?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I understand. That's why you were checking. If you were sure, you wouldn't be checking. Do you put anything in your mouth?
No.
Do you own any listening devices?
No.
You think she has cheated on you since you got married? Have you called her names? She said you've called her names.
Yeah, when we're arguing, I have called her names.
In anger?
Yes.
What have you called her?
I've called her liar, a slut, a bitch. She's very vocal with me as well. So.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Is that, but that's not really how you feel about her?
No.
Because if you really thought she was of bad morality and ill repute, you wouldn't be with her, right?
Absolutely not, no.
Are you keeping her a prisoner in her own home?
I try not to. She's allowed to go out wherever she likes. I never tell her she can't go out. I actually tell her to go out with girlfriends and go to the movies or the show, or I have a weird feeling that she's been unfaithful, and that's why.
Okay, but here's the question. Are you keeping your wife prisoner in her own home?
I'm not quite sure I understand what you're asking.
Are you the gatekeeper? Does she have to get your permission? Because it's like...
You can ask her. She doesn't have to get my permission to go out.
Do you feel like a prisoner?
Depends on the day that we're having. I mean, I pretty much just take the children and go wherever as long as I have the kids with me. I know
that's your safety zone?
That's my safety zone.
Are you afraid to say things in front of him for fear that he's going to retaliate against you later? We got to be honest here. I'm just asking.
No, I mean, I used to.
Because you seem to really be waffling. When there are things that you've told us without equivocation, and I ask you about them now, and you go, well, kind of.
No, I'm very vocal now. I don't stand down. I speak whatever I want to say. I tell him how I feel.
Does he intimidate you?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'm scared. Sometimes I'm scared that his thoughts are going to take control. Brain is very powerful. Sometimes I'm frightened.
What do you think he might do?
Well, he said things that he would do if he ever caught me cheating on him.
Knows what?
He said he would skin me alive if he ever caught me cheating, if he ever found proof.
I said I would skin him alive, not you.
Well, we don't want to be skinning anyone.
No. I just get very frustrated,
We
Dr.
don't want to
Phil.
be talking about, and I know you say things in anger, but
I don't mean that.
it's a short step from thought to word and a short step from word to deed.
I understand.
And here's the thing. You're quite right. The brain is a very powerful thing. And if you became convinced that she had done something inappropriate, and you had rehearsed in your mind how you were going to react if that had happened, and you believed to the core of your soul that you had that proof and data, then you could behave in a really destructive way. And I don't want you playing that game
Okay.
in your head. I want you to stop doing that, because I don't want anything bad to happen to either one of y'all.
Okay.
You hurt her or someone else, both of your lives can be destroyed. We don't want to play that game. You need to stop allowing yourself to go there
Okay.
in your thinking. I'm trying to help you here.
I understand.
Now, Mike has surveillance video, and he says it proves that his wife was flirting. Now, I've seen that tape. You didn't want us to show it here for some reason, but you allowed for me to see that.
Yes, I did.
And I've studied it very carefully, and I'm going to tell you honestly what I think. We'll be right back. It's driving you crazy. She's looking for some relief.
I don't want to do this anymore. It's so hard, I don't even understand it. He has called me an nymphomaniac in disguise. He just thinks I want sex from anybody. Mike has slept with 1,000 to 2,000 women. I am having sex with him every other day. Prior to that, it was pretty much almost every day.
Well, I'm here with Mike. He's 37. He is a jealous husband by his own description. He doesn't trust his wife, and he's told her, don't ever lie to me. Not to embarrass you here, but I mean, across time, how many men did you tell him that you had been intimate with?
I told him that I had been intimate with 4.
Okay, and in fact, it was a few more than that?
Yes.
Three more, 2, 3 more?
Yes.
Okay. But my point is, it was before you were married?
Yes.
Okay. Now, were you a virgin when you got married?
No, sir.
How many women had you had sex with?
I'm not really sure how many women.
Well, guess. I mean, give me a range. I don't know.
It's been in the hundreds.
Hundreds.
I believe so, yes.
So that's a lot. So that's kind of the pot calling the kettle black, right?
Yes, I guess so.
I mean, you were upset that she had a span where she was with a handful of men, and you say it's hundreds. How many would you say?
Oh, I would say about 1,000.
1,000 women?
I don't know, I wasn't there, so it's just what I hear.
Yeah. You gave me a surveillance tape to look at. And I had 2 reactions to that. At first, I was very troubled by it, because that was you sitting on the porch with her, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, I misread the transmittal memo to me when I got this, and I thought that the person that you were suspect of was the person sitting on the porch with her.
Oh, no.
And so I'm reading your body language with this guy you're sitting on the porch with, and I'm thinking, yeah, she's flirting with him. I'm looking at her body language towards this person on the porch with her, and I say, you know, that's a little gamey. She's kind of flirting with this guy. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to call it as I see it. Then I'm talking to producer. They said, no, that's her husband on the porch. I thought, oh, thank God. Because you were obviously you were happy to be with you. She was happy to be with you. Then I'm told at 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the tape that there are gestures that you take as her flipping you off and flirting behind your back with the neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Well, do you want to know what I think about that?
Yes, sir, please.
I think that there is no rational person that could conclude that she was behind your back flirting with the neighbor. 93% of all communication is nonverbal. 7% is what you say. 93% is your body language, your facial tones, voice intonation, spacing, body language. I am a student of this. I used to make my living doing this. I was a jury specialist that read juries and tried to predict what people were thinking, saying, and doing. It is my job. It is my work. There is no way this woman was flirting with your neighbor on the tape. Not even almost, sort of, kind of, maybe, no how, no way.
Okay.
In my opinion. What do you think about what I'm saying?
I only see it from my perspective, and I appreciate the fact that you looked at it and analyzed it. And
But you know what else I do? I spend at least half of my time hearing what isn't said. I read between the lines. I look for omissions. I look for nonverbals. And what you didn't say was, oh, thank God. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy to hear that you didn't see that. And I'm sorry that I suspected you of that. If I thought that my wife was flirting with somebody and someone credible knew what they were doing, and I thought that they were reliable and credible, and they told me didn't happen, wouldn't you be relieved? I mean, wouldn't you just be like, oh, that's a load off? But you were, well, okay, I got my point of view. Do you want to catch her cheating?
I think
Do you need to catch her cheating to prove yourself right?
I think sometimes I've been adamant in trying to catch her that I don't really realize what I'm doing. Like, I just keep
Do you
looking
think I'm
for
telling you
more.
the truth?
I believe you are.
Your enthusiasm was underwhelming. No, seriously, do you think she's gotten to me?
No.
You think I'm covering for her in some way?
No, I do not.
But I'm telling you the truth as I see it. Okay, now, because you didn't get the results of the 2 polygraphs before, and because you think she manipulated those polygraph operators, you actually made a request to us to repeat a polygraph, and you wanted a woman in the room.
Yes, she had actually said she would take the polygraph test, and I said that if somebody else was in the room with her, then that way I could believe the results, yes.
Right. We've done that, and I have the results right here. I haven't seen them, I haven't read these, but we have them right here. You and I are going to find this out together. But you need to understand that I think that this doesn't have anything to do with how you're going to feel. Because I think what you're feeling is coming from the inside out, not the outside in. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And we're going to find out what's in this envelope when we come back. You knew exactly what you have no excuses. So whatever these results are, you're not going to come with some excuse, well, I didn't know what it meant.
No.
Question number 1, during your marriage, have you ever had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband? And you answered?
The first lie detector test was performed in my home, and Mike was upstairs the whole entire time. The individual performing the lie detector test kept telling him not to listen to it because it would disrupt the whole lie detector results. The polygraph guy asked, have you ever been molested? He claims that he heard him say, you shouldn't have told me that.
I think he felt sorry for her a little bit, so then I'd asked to see the results of the test, and he wouldn't show them to me. I paid him, and he wouldn't show me the results. Yeah, I am looking for some concrete evidence. I don't want to destroy my family for something that's not true.
I'm here with Mike and Paula. Mike wants concrete evidence on his wife. She is suspected of infidelity. It is hard to prove a negative. It's hard to prove you didn't do something. Now, Paula has offered to take not 1, but 2, now a 3rd lie detector test to prove she is very faithful to Mike and has not cheated on him. Now, in your defense, You didn't get direct results of the first 2 polygraphs.
No, I did not.
So you're a little bit in the dark there, but you told him that you passed.
Yes.
Now, on the first test, Mike says that she told the instructor that she had been raped, and the instructor, and I guess by that you mean the examiner, said, well, I wish you hadn't told me that, felt bad for you, so he wouldn't even show you the test results, right? Even though you're the one that was paying him.
Yes, sir.
And did that exchange take place?
I've never done a polygraph test. He was just asking me questions and I was answering.
But I mean, y'all did talk about that
Yes.
occurrence. And by the way, I don't want to blow by that. I'm very sorry. And I make no apology for you telling you. I'm very sorry that you've been violated.
Yeah.
I hate that for you, and I'm very sorry. Now, the second test, the polygrapher wouldn't show Mike the test results either. He only gave you a piece of paper that said 99.9% truthful.
Yes.
But you still didn't believe that.
Before the test, I had asked him if I get to see the charts, the graphs, and he had said yes.
Are you qualified to read?
No, sir, I'm not.
Well, let's get to this. You took a polygraph, and frankly, I said, look, I'll do it if I thought there was even a 1% chance that it might help the situation. But frankly, I think you're not responding to data. I think you're not responding to evidence. I think you're not responding to reality. I think this is coming from inside you. You're convincing yourself that this is true because you fear it so badly. Now, let me be very clear with you. Was this a fair test?
Yes.
You don't think you were set up in any way?
No.
Whatever. You live by these results?
Yes.
This is Jack Tremarco. He is a former polygraph unit chief for the FBI, and in my opinion is the top polygraph operator on the globe. So is there anything that you want to ask him?
No, sir.
Okay, now he defined the terms for you. You knew exactly what you have no excuses.
No.
And we had an observer in the room.
We had an observer in the beginning.
Right.
And
Now,
then
during
I
this
asked her to
interview,
leave.
of course.
Because the protocol is that there will be no one else in the
Of
room.
course.
But I
in
did
the beginning,
videotape everything.
in the interview, when all this information she's giving, you had someone there observing.
In the beginning, yes.
Right. But you felt like it was fair.
Yes.
So whatever these results are, you're not going to have some excuse, well, I didn't know what it meant.
No.
Okay. I have the results in the envelope. Question number 1. During your marriage, have you ever had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband? And you answered,
No.
and the test showed that that was non-deceptive. You told the truth that during your marriage you have never had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband. Question number 2. Since your wedding day, have you ever had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband? Your answer?
No.
The test showed that that was non-deceptive, that she told the truth to both of those questions, that since you've been married, she has never had even sexual contact with another person. Was this a close call?
This was probably the most definitive exam I've done for your show, Doctor. She was non-deceptive, going away.
Because in order to pass this, I say pass, I know you don't like to use that term, but in order to come out with a clear indication of truthfulness, she would have to, on this scale, score a 4.
+4 to the relevant questions, right.
+4 to the relevant questions. And +5 would be huge.
It's better.
+6 would be better.
And that's better.
7, 8 would be better. Where did she score?
I scored them +12.
+12. What'd you want to say?
I'm sorry, and I want to get some help just so I can learn how to trust you.
Good job, Doc.
I feel numb sometimes. And I feel like I'm just on autopilot. And it's just go, go, go. And hope one day that something will change. Dr. Phil, it's so hard because people look at me and ask me, how do you stay? But it's like I'm looking at two different people. Split personality. There's one guy who's amazing and sensitive and caring and wonderful. And then there's this evil, controlling, obsessed trust issue that he has. It's so hard, I don't even understand it.
You want the one guy, but not the other.
No, I only want the one guy. I want the other one to go away.
It's driving you crazy. There comes a point where your intellect has to overcome your emotion. You got listening devices planted in your bedroom. You've heard nothing. You got a tracking device on the car. You have found nothing. You gave me a surveillance tape that showed not one thing even almost kind of even remotely close to subtle or otherwise flirtation. You've never found one piece of evidence. We have now brought you the top polygrapher to sit down with her with an observer to negate any potential manipulation. She didn't kind of pass. She didn't kind of squeak by. She knocked it out of the park. She knocked it out of the stadium. She knocked it over the parking lot. There is not one shred of evidence that this woman has been anything other than devoted to you. And the fact that she has put up with everything that you have heaped on her, unjustly accusing her, should speak volumes to you about who this woman is and how devoted to you she is.
I know that, and that's why after this show I want to get help and start apologizing for everything I've done.
If I get you some help, will you seriously take it?
Yes, I will.
Because you have to understand, this voice in your head is going to come back and try to find holes in this. But the truth is, it would be a whole lot better drama if we caught her cheating, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Because then you could be saying, see, damn harlot. I mean, wow, how great would that be for drama? It's really anticlimactic when you find out that the girl's a straight shooter and obviously loves you a lot.
Yeah, we need the help.
And you want to get your game together, or she won't cheat on you. She'll look you straight up in the eye and say, I'm not going to put up with this anymore.
I'm getting really close. I don't want to do this anymore.
She's looking for some relief.
I don't want to do this anymore.
You willing to get this help?
Yes.
Are you willing to give him a chance
I
to
am.
have the help?
I'm willing to stand by his side as long as he's willing and puts 110% effort. But yes, there's a lot of hate and anger right now. And it's a wound that's going to take time to heal, and he's got to understand that too.
Yeah, what she's telling you is you're the one who ran this off in the ditch. And you got a lot of cleaning up to do.
I know that.
But we'll work on it. Okay? Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk to a wife who goes to extremes to check up on her husband, and I want you to listen to this. I want you to sit down here and listen to this, because sometimes you can see things in other people that it's hard to see in yourself. He swears he's done nothing wrong. So why is his wife so obsessively convinced to the contrary? We'll see what she has to say when we come back.
Hell yeah, I'm a jealous person. I check his wallet, check his pants, check the car, check his cell phone.
It's very, very frustrating.
All right, Tara checks her husband's cell phone, wallet, pants pockets, dog walking route, and just anywhere that he might be going. Now, Andrew says she drills down on him for hours at a time if he even mentions another woman in passing.
Where did he go today? What time was that? Hell yeah, I'm a jealous person. To make sure that Andy isn't cheating, I check his wallet, check his pants, check the car, check his cell phone. It's calling my name and I gotta pick it up and look at it and go through it.
When Tara makes these accusations, it's very, very frustrating.
When Andy brings up a woman in a conversation, I just get a panic feeling and then I'll Google her so I can find out whether she's a threat to me or not. When Andy is away from me, I can make up scenarios that he could possibly meet someone.
When I'm late from work, Tara will ask me, "Where are you at? What are you doing? Why are you late?" It is a drill.
I was suspicious that he might be going to visit this girl that just moved into the neighborhood, and so I drove around looking for him.
I'm walking down the street and Tara pulls up in the car. "What are you doing? Where are you going?"
And I did find him. He was not at her house.
I am not doing anything to jeopardize my marriage.
Being a detective because of my jealousy is extremely exhausting. I'm wasting my life chasing something that's not even a reality. I'm afraid that our marriage will just get worse and turn into a big hot mess.
Andrew, you guys have been sitting in the audience listening to me talk to Mike and Paula. What'd you think about that conversation? Did you see yourself in him?
I don't think I'm that extreme.
Really?
As extreme as that.
So on a 1 to 10, if he was the 10, where would you put yourself?
Probably a 6.
So, Andy, where would you put her on that scale?
Is there a polygraph associated with this? It all depends. It could range from what she's saying, a 6. It could go 7. It could go 7.5.
Why do you put up with it?
Love her. I mean, it's a marriage. It's a
But you
commitment.
teach people how to treat you, and because, listen, have you ever heard that old saying, "What I fear, I create"? What's that mean to you? What I fear, I create.
That if I keep doing this, I'll eventually push him to do it.
Is there any other outcome? Let me tell you something about men. At some point, they're going to say, "You know what? I'm getting credit for it. Hell, I might as well do it." I mean, there's a point at which that can transpire, and you can go, "See, I was right all along."
Yeah.
You said she called you 6 to 8 times while you were inside a haunted house for 10 minutes with your son?
20, 25 minutes, but yeah.
What do you think he's going to do, a zombie or something? What do you...
No zombies in my life there.
Seriously? He's in a haunted house with your son and you're tracking him?
Yeah.
I'm asking because I'm trying to point out to you, sometimes when you hear it back to you, it seems like a good idea when you're thinking it and doing it, but when you hear somebody else say it, you see it on tape, sometimes you can go, "Wow, that's me. I need to ratchet this down."
Yeah.
Why do you think you do this?
I think I'm insecure. I think that, every day I hear from a friend of a friend that was cheated on, or you turn on the TV and you see it in the media, and it's almost what men do. And I think I just wonder why I'm the one that got lucky. What's so special about me that he won't cheat on me?
Okay, well, I've got what I think is a pivotal question for you when we come back. And we're going to hear what Tara's children have to say about Mommy's behavior as well. We'll be right back.
The kids are aware of my jealousy. My stepsons say that I have a leash on their dad.
Tara got me a yellow shirt, and my son spouted out, "Yeah, you'll be able to see Dad all the way down the street. You can track him."
My daughter has said that you're acting crazy. He's not doing anything. I don't want my daughter to have the same kind of phobias or paranoia.
You clearly live in fear of being cheated on, right? Because you've said, I don't want to look like a fool. And that really scares you, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm terrified of it.
Why does that scare you to be made to look like a fool?
Because it would make my life seem like it was a complete lie.
Okay.
Like everything that I thought to believe would be true would not be if he were to be cheating on me.
Okay, you're playing the what if game. That's a very anxiety-inducing sort of game, but it's okay to play what if as long as we play it out to the end. Okay, so what if he cheats on you?
Then my family will be broken apart.
Okay, then what?
And then I guess I'd have to carry on and try to get over it.
You're saying that if he cheated on you, it would be painful, it would hurt, but you would cope, get over it, and go on with your life? Seriously, what's so horrible about that? That you spend every day consumed with what I call anticipatory anxiety. You have more pain worrying about it than you would have if he did it.
Definitely.
Don't you?
Yes.
I mean, it's like he's cheated on you every day of your marriage because you have that fear every day of your marriage. If he did it, it would just be one day and it'd be over.
Yeah, I mean, it's miserable.
Okay, but,
trying to do this.
But do you understand what I'm saying? You just played the what if game. What if he cheats? Well, my whole life would be a lie. Actually, that's not true. That's just catastrophic language you like to say because it's dramatic. Your whole life wouldn't be a lie. You would still be you. Your kids would still be them. Your house would still be where it was. You would still have everything that you thought, except that he was with Susie Q instead of at the grocery store. Other than that, your whole life would not be a lie. But is it as catastrophic as you make it out to be?
No, when I'm sitting here, it's not.
Thank you.
But when I'm at home and in my own environment.
Well, but I'm having this conversation so you can have it again when you're at home, because what I'm telling you here is that you have choices to make. Because what's happening is you have this fear every day, and you check on him, and when you find him doing what he's supposed to be doing, it gives you relief for the moment. It's like a drug addict getting a fix. Anxiety, 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 he's at the store. And you feel good for a few minutes. But what if he doesn't come straight home? What if he goes by her house? What if he's talking to her on the way home? Well, who is she? I don't know, but it could be somebody. And so you go through this whole thing, and it builds up, and it builds up, and it builds up again. So he gets home, and he gets in the shower, and you get his cell phone, and you take it out, and you go, nope, nobody.
I know, and it's exhausting.
You're getting a fix every time, and you need to wean yourself off of it just like you would off of a drug. And it's probably going to take some help for you to do that, but I'm trying to give you a wake-up call. This is about you. It's not about Andrew. He didn't do anything. Does it make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back. I want to thank all of my guests today. I know it's hard to come on and talk about this, but you feel like we're headed in the right direction here?
Yes.
And do you, Paula?
Yes.
All right, good. And how about you, Tara?
Yeah.
Has this helped you so far?
Oh, yeah. The whole experience has been amazing. It really has.
What's helped you about this?
Just seeing myself on the screen doing those things, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And just the fact that he came on the show with me is proof enough that he loves me and he's in this for the long haul, and I need to quit worrying. Yeah,
but there's a lot you got to do about it. Your brain can get trapped in here, but the boy came to the Dr. Phil show.
I know.
This ought to be a really good night. Also, a special thanks to Jack Tremarco. His website is jacktremarco.com. And I really appreciate you weighing in and helping us out here, Jack. And we have a great time in the studio audience. If you're going to be in the LA area, we would love to have you. The tickets are free. Go to drphil.com. You can click on Be in the Audience. Check out drphil.com and our jealousy test to see how you do on there, because as Tara's saying, sometimes you don't recognize it. Thanks for being here. So long.
It's been a lot for me, so.
Well, I just want to thank Dr. Phil for his help. I'm hoping that this will definitely change my husband and he gets the help that he needs. I am happy that I came. You pretty much saved my marriage if my husband decides to take the help. So thank you. You were my last hope.
We're starting our 10th season with one of the biggest dramas to ever capture the nation's attention.
For 3 years, you followed the story.
Casey took her a month ago.
Sheriff's investigators desperately search for 2-year-old Kaylee.
Grandparents of the young Florida girl lashed out. Shut up! Shut up!
Now, the exclusive interview with Casey Anthony's parents.
Do you think Casey was involved in Kaylee's death?
What can you tell us, Casey? Get away! Get away!
Are you saying she went psychotic and lost contact with reality?
Tiny skeletal remains are those of little Kelly.
You don't include the possibility that she used that shovel to dig a hole in the ground in the woods to bury her dead baby.
It's the most sensational murder trial in recent memory.
The public believes that you perjured yourself on the stand to protect your daughter. Did you lie?
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
An ongoing obsession of the summer of 2011.
They should have just thrown away the key for her.
America's never heard this explanation before. Why have you sat on this information?
Over the course of 2 days, Cindy and George Anthony sit down face to face with Dr. Phil.
There are millions of people in America right now that want to shake you awake.
Today,
Well, in your mind, you know the truth, don't you?
the revelations.
We've been through this for 3 years, and it's the first time I've heard that out of his mouth.
On the season 10 premiere of The Dr. Phil Show.
Today, Cindy and George Anthony speak out for the very first time since the verdict that shocked the nation. As a former litigation consultant and a new grandfather of a little girl about Kaylee's age, the Casey Anthony trial both fascinated and frustrated me, leaving me with more questions than answers. And so I asked the Anthonys to sit down with me for a candid, no-holds-barred conversation about what they think really happened to their granddaughter. How much did they know, and when did they know it? Now, trust me, I've read the emails, tweets, and message boards. You are an audience divided. Many of you have come to blame them as much as Casey. Others do not. Did the Anthonys support and cover for a woman who many believe is a baby killer? Or are they grieving grandparents who have tragically missed the warning signs and lost the light of their lives? Whether you have supported or vilified them, one thing is for sure. After this interview, you just might change your minds about Cindy and George Anthony. Now, it's been over a year since you've spoken publicly.
Yes.
Why did the two of you agree to sit down with me and have this conversation?
Well, we knew at some point we needed to tell our side of the story. Your venue, I think, what better place?
We can trust you're going to do the right thing with us and by us, and you're going to get what you feel we need to talk about and open our hearts up about.
You know that you have some critics out there. Some say that you have tried to capitalize on, profit from, or exploit the death of your granddaughter. So I want to be very clear. Neither of you have asked to be paid 1 penny for this interview, correct?
That's correct. We have not.
And we have not paid you for this interview. Now, what you have asked us to do, you're very passionate about something that you call the Kaylee Fund.
Yes.
Yes.
You have asked us to make a donation to that when it gets properly licensed and I said we would do that. To make this further clear, neither of you derive any income from that charitable organization whatsoever, correct?
That's correct.
And people, they have questions about you as parents. They have questions about you as grandparents. That's why I want you to answer my questions, tell the truth, and take the mystery out of this story once and for all. Do you think Casey was involved in Kaylee's death?
Well, the last one I saw Kaylee with was Casey. We didn't see her for all those days or all those weeks. To me, in my mind, that 1 and 1 adds up to 2. She's responsible for Kaylee. That was her daughter.
When you say 1 and 1 adds up to 2, what are the 1 and 1 that makes it obvious that she has involvement?
Casey and Kaylee, when I saw them leave on June 16, 2008, it's the last time I saw them together. And Casey, again, is responsible for Kaylee, no matter where she was at or what happened.
You have to understand, from a psychological point of view, I have curiosities and queries about how we've come to the point that we're at today. Would you consider your household and their upbringing to have been a typical American home and family?
I mean, we did things with the children growing up, participated in their school activities.
So you were involved parents.
Mm-hmm.
Was she close with her brother Lee?
They were very close, and he always looked out for her.
I think we would agree that Casey has told a lot of lies.
Mm-hmm.
To you, too, before this situation happened, during the situation, and after. Here's the thing, and this is a question I think every parent in America wants to know the answer to. As you look back, were there any warning signs that would have suggested that Casey was going to do whatever it is that she did?
After Kaylee was born is when I started to see changes in Casey.
Why, in your view? What precipitated that?
Looking back now, I'm almost wondering if she didn't develop postpartum schizophrenia or some type of issue after her pregnancy, a hormonal type of illness. I mean, and that's my perception because none of those behaviors were exhibited prior to her pregnancy.
All right, well now, how far along was she when you found out she was pregnant?
It was 5 months.
Do you think it odd that she hid that from y'all until that far into the pregnancy? What was she afraid of? Why would she hide it?
I don't know.
That's a great question. I mean, we asked her even when that happened. I said, why didn't you tell us? She was afraid to tell us. I don't know what the reason was.
I think it's significant that she went halfway through a pregnancy before she said anything to y'all. I mean, that's a big omission to me as a parent. But once that change took place, did it snowball?
No, not right away.
When did it really start to be a problem?
I think I noticed it probably early 2006, right around there. I just noticed some change in her when she would talk to me about certain things. It just didn't add up in my mind how
No,
she
you're
could be.
thinking 2007. It was 2007.
After I'd come back home, because Cindy and I had separated for a few months. I just noticed her not being at the place that she said she was going to be at. Things never added up to me. Started to notice some money missing.
And you were out of the home in 06?
06, yeah. Between November of 2005 until about June of 2006. Yeah, Cindy and I had separated. We had some financial issues. Did we almost go through a divorce? Yeah, it was pretty close.
Were you gambling at the time?
There was some online gambling I was doing, yes.
Okay, was that part of the issue with you?
Yeah, see, I didn't know about it. And when I found out, it was like a huge betrayal. I mean, we had been married nearly 25 years at that time, and to find out that he was kind of leading a different life, you know. I know what happened. It was during the time when he wasn't working, and I realized it was a very difficult time for him. But at that time, it was a huge slap in the face.
Was it a significant amount of money to your family?
Oh, somewhere about $30,000, I think,
yeah,
right around in
it
there,
was.
give or take.
Made a difference.
It made a huge difference.
Huge difference.
But then you come back in 06, and you say at that time she changed.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a big effect. Everybody felt let down by their dad and kind of betrayed. And the thing that hurt Casey the most was that he wanted us to sell the house and split it up, that Casey felt like he was kicking her and Kaylee out, and she could not understand how he could do that. I know she didn't want him to come home.
Did you know that she didn't want you to come back?
Yes, she told me.
Again, from a psychological perspective, what comes to my mind is you said he had a different life. And I have to ask you, when you heard the defense in this case say that he was involved in, not in causing the child's death, but in events that took place after that, did it ever occur to you that he's hidden substantial things from me before? Could he have done it again? Remember, you heard Cindy say that when she and George tried to reconcile after their separation, Casey was strongly against her dad moving back home. Now keep that in mind, because it will prove to be a critical moment in this tragic story.
Coming up.
All I know is that Kaylee's not with us anymore.
Do you believe she was in that trunk?
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with Cindy and George Anthony.
She saw George Anthony holding Kaylee in his arms. She immediately grabbed Kaylee and began to cry. And shortly thereafter, George began to yell at her. "Look what you've done! Your mother will never forgive you, and you will go to jail for child neglect for the rest of your freaking life."
When you heard the defense in this case say that he was involved in, not in causing the child's death, but in events that took place after that, did it ever occur to you that he's hidden substantial things from me before? Could he have done it again?
No, not when it came to his family as far as Casey and Kaylee. George would never have put us through those 6 months of not knowing where Kaylee was if he knew where Kaylee was. Because I watched his heart break every single day, and I watched him as frantic as he was.
Do you think you're someone that tends to see the best in people?
Oh, I know that.
Do you think you make excuses for people?
I did until the last 3 years going through therapy. I know better.
Well, because as we've been talking here, I hear you kind of try to put it in context, but that's okay, because, and even with George, you say he lied to me, he hid this from me, he betrayed me, but he was in a bad spot. You kind of, we call it balancing.
Right.
Do you excuse the lies that Casey has told in this situation?
Not at all.
And some of them seemingly benign but significant. For 2 years, you thought she worked at Universal, right?
Yes. And to this day, I've never had an opportunity to really talk to Casey about that.
What would you say to her about it?
I would be very angry about it. I would want to know why she felt she had to lie.
Do y'all feel like you got suckered for 2 years? If she wasn't getting paid, where was she getting money?
She'd borrow money from me or take money from me, same way as you, back and forth.
Well, see, that's what
Was she stealing?
Oh, absolutely she did. Sometimes Cindy would even ask me, says, "George, I'm missing $20 from my wallet or something." And I would say, "I didn't take any money from your wallet." When I had $20 or $30 in mine, I'd go and look in mine, and mine would be gone. She was stealing gas from my gas can outside my shed to keep her car going.
But for 2 years, where was she when she was supposed to be at work? Where do you go?
Finding out now, I mean, most of the time Casey and Kaylee were together. The times that she lied about working, she was having play dates or she was taking Kaylee to the park.
But why lie about it? Were you in denial here? Because it seems to me that here's somebody that for 2 years you never see a pay stub. You know that she's lied about one job. There's money missing. In looking back, was that something that you just failed to see or deal with?
No, because Casey and I had conversations a lot. I would ask her, "Why did you use my credit card?" She would make excuses that she, owed money to somebody else or whatever. And I guess I had the same faith in her that I had in George for those years. He, was kind of living a different life. And I guess I didn't want to third degree her like I probably should have with George.
I didn't want to see her hurt you like I had hurt you. And so when I confronted her about it, when I saw maybe myself in her, I said, you can't do this to your mother. I already hurt your mom too much. Why are you doing this? She'd come up with these great excuses sometimes.
Was there a time before you knew Kaylee was missing where you said in your mind, Casey is out of control?
Mm-hmm.
She spun off the deep end, her lies are out of control, her lifestyle is out of control?
There was. In fact, that was the spring of 2008. I was confronting Casey a little bit more from the beginning of the year about, okay, you owe me this much money, you need to start paying me back. And it was always an excuse, something was going on at work, she didn't get her paycheck on time or whatever. And I was afraid if I made Casey move out and she didn't have the means to do so, where would Kaylee be?
So you were basically held hostage by Kaylee because you
Right.
had to protect Kaylee.
Right.
Did you ever consider taking Kaylee away from her?
No, actually not. And I told her flat out, I do not want to do that to Kaylee. I don't want to do that to Casey.
Was there a point at which you said, this is no longer okay?
The straw that broke the camel's back was when I found out that she had taken money from my mom.
Do you think you were a bad role model for her in that regard?
Apparently I was for possibly 4 or 5 years, and in my Cindy was enabling me to keep on going. I guess she enabled Casey in the same regards.
Well, I think because I started coming down so hard on her in those few months before all this happened, she was not used to that. I said, I'm not taking your daughter away from you. I said, I could, but I'm not going to do that. I need you to straighten yourself up. And I pretty much told her she had several months to do it. I never knew it would lead up to that.
Did you push her too hard?
I may have. I may have.
Watch as our conversation continues, and I asked them about the last day they saw Kaylee alive. This is the same day Casey called her mother 6 times within 4 minutes. Now, this would be something that would have made me sit up and take notice, but it didn't seem to arouse any suspicion with either one of them. I understand she called you 6 times in 4 minutes.
Something obviously was going on right then and there. She was trying to reach out to me, and she called my work phone, she called my cell phone. And at one point, I was in a meeting, and I could tell in her voice something was going on, but I wish she would have just blurted out, Mom, I need you.
Was she upset? Was she crying?
I can't remember.
Calling your mother and your baby has just drowned or died. You don't call once, twice, or 3 times. You call until you get somebody, and then don't you say, something terrible has happened, I need you now?
If she was asking for help, I know I would have dropped everything.
Well, this brings us to the 31 days that you two went through without any contact with Kaylee whatsoever, correct?
Correct.
Because I think people that are frustrated by this say, okay, how could you not know? When you go from seeing this child daily to having no contact with her for 31 days. You know that she lies, but yet you say, okay, I believe you. She's asleep. She's this, she's that, she's not there. She's with this Zanny, the nanny, for 2 years, and you've never met her. You don't know her. Let me finish. You don't know who the father is. You never met her boyfriend, who she says she's staying with. You don't know her friends. You didn't verify her employment. Her car has been impounded, and you go pick up the car and smell what smells like a dead body, and you Febreze the trunk and go to work. In looking back, does that seem like you missed huge signals that something was wrong before the 31st day?
Coming up.
That day, 911 calls were made, and she's being cuffed in the driveway. She knows Kaylee is gone.
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with Cindy and George Anthony.
I just went through the litany of lies Casey had been telling her parents for years. As my conversation continues, we begin to drill down on the weeks leading up to Kaylee's disappearance and the now infamous 31 days. Now, even though I realize hindsight is 20/20, I wanted to know from Cindy how she could miss such huge warning signs. Had she ever confirmed Casey's employment? And more importantly, had she ever even met this Zanny the nanny, the mysterious babysitter?
Well, you got to understand, Casey had started talking about Zanny in spring of 2006. So this name was not something that she just fabricated on June 16th.
Right, right.
And the other thing was, the people's misconception was that Zanny watched Kaylee every day, supposedly. That's not true either. I was the primary babysitter.
But I think that's exactly the point. You're the primary caregiver other than Casey.
Right.
And then you go to 31 days of silence. It had to go off in your head,
Well,
Cindy.
the thing of it is, though, Casey's story to me was that she was working a second job. She was telling me that she was trying to get her life on track. I didn't know she was lying for 2 years about the job. I didn't know she was lying about Zanny. So hindsight, yes, but not during those 31 days. I'm going on those 31 days of knowing that Casey took excellent care of Kaylee, that she was a good mother, that I never had any reason to doubt her relationship with Kaylee.
So Casey had constructed an elaborate menagerie of lies.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are details, backstories, side stories.
Such details that...
Very detailed.
If you had known then what you know now, your behavior would have been very different.
Oh, absolutely. I would have called the Army, the Navy, anybody in to go look for them. I was talking to Casey on a daily basis. From my understanding, Kaylee was fine and having fun, with her little playmates.
Are you mad at her for this?
I think I'm past the anger stage.
I mean, just about the lies. Because think of the phone calls where you're on there and she's saying, Mom, she's with Zanny. And the entire time she's saying that, she's playing you for a fool.
Yes, she did.
When you learned that she was stealing from you, borrowing from her mother, stealing from her grandmother, did any of those things go off in your head that said, she is behaving like a criminal here?
Well, absolutely I did, and I even told her, I said, you can't keep this pattern up. It's affecting your daughter. It's affecting my granddaughter. And I didn't want that to happen any further. She'd always say, Dad, I'm working on it. I'm going to get through this. You and Mom are going to be so proud.
But I mean, come on. You're a cop. And when I look at this and I say, you never met this nanny. You didn't know the father of Kaylee. You never verified the employment. I don't get how you didn't have bells going off in your head.
Well, I mean, I confronted Casey when things didn't add up in my mind. But then again, if I would have came across heavy-handedly or coming across and trying to interrogate my daughter, I probably would have pushed her further and further away from me. And I was trying to repair that relationship that her and I didn't have for maybe about a year. So, I mean, was I taken for a fool? Absolutely.
Were you parenting from guilt?
Possibly.
I'm a new grandfather. I cannot imagine that over a 31-day period that I could talk to my son or daughter-in-law and not hear that child in the background. Did nothing ever go off in your head that every time I talk to her, she's asleep, nap, gone, playing, that never one time heard a peep, squeak, laugh, cry, anything from Kaylee?
That's why on July 3rd, I drove down to Universal Studios and tried to see Casey and Kaylee. She then said she was in Jacksonville, and I was irritated, like you wouldn't believe.
It was on July 3rd that you wrote something on MySpace. You say, my Kaylee is missing. She came into my life unexpectedly, just as she has left me. Jealousy has taken her away. Jealousy from the one person that should be thankful for all the love and support given to her.
Kaylee was missing in my heart that day. She wasn't missing physically in the sense because I thought I knew where she was at.
Did you know something then that you hadn't even admitted to your consciousness? Because what jumps out to me about this is the title of this is My Kaylee is Missing. You said this mother gave chance after chance for her daughter to change, but instead more lies, more betrayal.
I wanted Casey to know how much she was hurting me, and I thought she was purposely keeping Kaylee away from me.
Well, we now know Casey wasn't keeping Kaylee away from her grandparents out of spite. It was mid-July when things started to unravel. George and Cindy got notification that Casey's car had been impounded. The same car she supposedly had been driving every day for weeks. This fact, plus no contact with Kaylee for all of this time, and still no bells went off? This was yet another one of Casey's elaborate lies, which left them with more questions. Where was Casey? Where was Kaylee? And what was that suspicious odor coming from the trunk? So, you walked up to the car together?
No, I walked up by myself with the gentleman who's the manager of the tow yard.
Did you smell something right away?
I did notice an odor that I had smelled prior from many years ago and being in law enforcement. And as I unlocked the car, that's when the odor was even more stronger. I was feeling very sick in my stomach. And as I went to the trunk, there's nothing back there except a trash bag full of garbage. And I shut it. I was thankful I didn't see my daughter or my granddaughter there.
Your mind went there when you walked to the back of the car?
Oh, absolutely it did.
What do you now believe the smell was from?
Truthfully, to this day, I don't know, to be honest.
Do I want to believe that Kaylee was back there? I don't want to believe it, but I mean, I'm going by what investigators have told me. All I know is that Kaylee's not with us anymore. I know that. I know that.
Do you believe she was in that trunk?
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with Cindy and George Anthony.
Do you believe she was in that trunk?
Some parts of me do believe that she was possibly back there. Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I don't know. I know she had to be transported to get to the woods. I don't know if she was transported in Casey's car or if she was transported some other way.
Are you believing that something bad has happened to Kaylee, or are you still thinking she just won't produce her?
I'm thinking she won't produce her, and I'm thinking at some point that she does not want me to see Kaylee.
But you don't back off. You call 911.
I called 911.
Here it is.
911, what's the address? What's happening? I have someone here that I need to be arrested in my home. They're there right now? A possible missing child. I have a 3-year-old that's been missing for a month. A 3-year-old? We can't find my granddaughter.
You wanted someone in authority to compel your daughter to produce your granddaughter.
Absolutely.
What happened in the next 57 minutes, because things changed dramatically?
When I drove up, Casey went right to her room and Lee followed her in.
You overheard something between Lee and Casey that changed your life forever.
Mm-hmm.
What did you hear?
I heard her telling Lee that Zanny had kidnapped Kaylee and that she hadn't seen Kaylee for 31 days. And then it was like, it was so overwhelming, you know, just thinking, oh my God, you know, why didn't she tell me? Is this why she stayed away for 31 days? My worst nightmare had just unfolded right in front of me.
That was the first time it ever went through your brain.
That something was wrong.
That something had happened to her. What did you say to Casey?
I don't know, I just screamed at her. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, what do you mean you haven't seen Kaylee? And that's when I just screamed at her, and I wanted to go choke her or hit her, and I just went over there and I just punched the bed as hard as I could to get my anger out. And I said, why didn't you tell us? And then she just said she was afraid, and I don't even remember. I ran out of that room and I called 911 again.
Is your daughter there? Yes. Can I speak with her? Hello? Hello? Yes. Hi. Well, can you tell me what's going on a little bit? I'm sorry? Can you tell me a little bit what's going on? My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days. And you know who has her? I know who has her. I've tried to contact her. I actually received a phone call today, now from a number that is no longer in service. I did get to speak to my daughter for about a minute. Now your 3-year-old daughter is missing. Kaylee Anthony? Yes. And you last saw her a month ago? 31 days. It's been 31 days. Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago? I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her, which was stupid.
What did you think of her behavior right there?
I thought she was pretty calm.
Do you think that was strange?
I would think so. It was pretty strange. Matter of fact, I remember talking to her, and I said, where's she at? What's going on? We need these answers. We need to get her home now.
Because you came home during the call.
Just before 10 o'clock at night.
George, Kaylee's missing. Kaylee's missing. Casey says Danny took her a month ago. She's been missing for a month.
Cindy, she just fell into my arms, and to try to hold her up and say, where's Casey? What's going on? It just went so fast, so quick.
George and I didn't know if we could even be in the same house with her. And that's why I had talked to the sergeant in charge at one point to see if they could just take her into custody. And then when I saw the handcuffs on, then I'm like, my heart's breaking. I don't want to see my daughter be taken to jail, but then all I wanted was answers for Kaylee, and we didn't have anything.
And as we now know, that day, 911 calls were made. When she's being cuffed in the driveway, when she's in your home that night, she knows that Kaylee is gone.
Yep.
And she continued to lie.
She continued to lie.
Coming up.
You would think the child you raised would be grieving beyond belief. Not getting a tattoo that's Italian for beautiful life, not entering a hard body contest. Is this out of context?
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with Cindy and George Anthony.
Under the assumption that their granddaughter had been kidnapped by the nanny, George and Cindy confront Casey in this jailhouse interview shortly after her arrest, July 16th. Watch this, as it seems Cindy actually is suspicious of Casey after all, and she pressures her for answers.
Look straight up so I can look into your eyes, darling. Thank you. I need to do that. It's okay to cry, Casey. It's all right, love. We've all been crying. Please look up, sweetheart. I need to see your eyes.
I want to be able to look at you guys too. I can't look at you and look at the camera.
Well, you don't have to look at the camera. Look at me.
I'm looking at you.
The camera is set differently for her to look at the camera to see
it wasn't about
us.
the camera, it's about you looking her in the
I
eye.
wanted to see her in the eyes when I was talking to her because I wanted to be able to see if I could tell if she was telling me the truth. And I was trying to get answers about Kaylee. And we were playing detective at that time. We wanted to find out anything that we could do to find her.
All right, take a look at this brief clip.
Casey, you don't realize the whole United States is looking for Kaylee.
I know that, Mom.
Everybody is looking for her.
Good.
Everybody is looking for her. Are we going to be able to find her, do you think?
I hope we can, Mom.
Are we going to be able to find her, do you think? What was that question?
I wanted to know if Casey knew something that she wasn't telling us. You got to understand, in the background, I have people telling me from the sheriff's department, even some family members, that they felt that Casey was hiding Kaylee from me on purpose. And I didn't know if Casey had her hidden away somewhere or if she really knew, you know, if Zanny was the one that really took her.
Well, she was released from jail the first time.
What happened, Casey? What can you tell us?
What was it like when she came home?
It's the first thing I did, I wanted to hug her. I was very, very tough on my daughter. I wanted answers. I wanted to know where Kaylee was at. It started out being a nice general conversation, and all of a sudden I turned a little belligerent with my daughter. I screamed, hollered at her to tell me what was going on. We could fix this. And Casey just says, Dad, Zanny took her. She has her. And I said, well, where's she at? Let's go get her.
Were you suspicious of her at that point?
Oh, I didn't believe 2/3 of the things she was telling me. I thought, okay, she's keeping her away from Cindy.
You would think the child you raised, that you describe as a loving mother, would be heartbroken, devastated, grieving beyond belief. Not getting a tattoo that's Italian for beautiful life, not entering a hard body contest. What do you make of that?
Well, talking to her friends, one of the girls that was supposed to be up there dancing did not show up. So they asked Casey to fill in, and reluctantly she did. And this was not brought up at trial, that Casey's mood was very kind of subdued when she first got there. And I'm not making excuses for her.
I think you are.
No, I'm not, because her intent was not to go out there. I mean, I'm not condoning that at all. You know, it bothers me.
Is this out of context?
I don't know, because they didn't take a picture of Casey going there that night. The only thing that came out at trial is what they wanted to come out to paint her in a bad light. So, I mean, for 6 months that Kaylee was gone, I was devastated, I cried, but during that time, did I socialize with friends and maybe laugh once or twice at a joke? Yes. And if someone would have isolated that in a photograph and plastered it all over, would I be just as guilty as Casey?
Cindy, you weren't involved in the death.
I understand that.
Do you see this the same way? I see Cindy defending this, saying it's out of context. What I see is a woman that has made a conscious decision to go to a bar within days of being in some way involved in the death and cover-up of her child. And I have a hard time framing that out in any other way. I hear what you say. What do you say?
Well, there's some things that Cindy and I don't agree with.
Coming up.
America has never heard this explanation before. Why has it been withheld?
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with Cindy and George Anthony.
More stunning and disturbing photos emerge of Mom Casey at a local nightclub, reportedly bumping and grinding the night of the hot body contest. This is just days after little Kelly vanishes.
I can't understand how, if my granddaughter was out of her life and she was gone, how she could take this next step. I cannot be out celebrating or having a good time.
Do you believe that this is out of context and is acceptable behavior?
Personally, no, I don't. And that's when her and I struggle with some things sometimes, giving her an excuse of why she was here or there.
I'm not making excuses for her. I want to find out what's wrong with Casey. I know that there's something wrong.
You're getting ready to hear, for the first time in Cindy's view, the reason Casey did whatever it is she did.
People don't know she had a grand mal seizure after she came home for the very first time.
Casey, what happened? Come on, back up, let her.
I don't know why she's having a seizure. Does she have a brain tumor where the seizure's caused by stress? I don't know. I don't know if she had a seizure that day and blacked out. I don't know what happened, and that's what I want to find out down the road. And I'm not making justifications for that, but there's a cause for this. You don't just have a grand mal seizure.
But there is a point where you have to put on your list of possibilities that these are the behaviors of an unconscionable psychopath. She has devastated you. She has devastated George. She has been involved in some way, by their own admission, in the death and burial of her daughter in the woods in the most dishonorable way you can possibly imagine. Those are not well behaviors. We can agree on that, right? The question is just why.
So where do you take this caring young person who cared about everybody, loved kids, and then all of a sudden something tragically happens to Kaylee, and then Casey completely goes off the deep end?
Your theory is that she is a victim in this in some way, a victim of an illness, a tumor, or something.
I truly believe that, because there was never any signs that Casey was an unfit mother. She was an awesome mother.
Other than the fact that she wasn't providing for her daughter.
Right.
She was out roaming around town when she was supposedly at work. She was manufacturing friends, playmates, play dates, nannies, all of those sort of things, which to me, whatever the causation, is highly unstable behavior.
Absolutely.
Highly unstable behavior.
Well, she had a seizure in November of 2007. Her ex-fiancé, Jesse Grund, had Casey taken to the hospital for a grand mal seizure.
But has she ever been evaluated? Has she had MRIs, CAT scans?
At that time,
evaluations?
She did.
And did they find anything?
Not at that time. But again, a year and a half later, she has another grand mal seizure. So again, what is triggering it? Is it a hormonal response? Is it something that comes and goes? I don't know. They kept her in the hospital for 3 days and worked her up and didn't find anything.
Okay, so she has been evaluated. She has been worked up and the findings were negative.
But again, she had that second one when she was home after she had been arrested, when she was out on bail for the first time.
America has never heard this explanation before. Why has it been withheld? Why have you sat on this information? I know there are many of you out there who have a lot to say about this, so log on to drphil.com and share your opinions, because I will be monitoring the message boards. You don't include the possibility that she used that shovel to dig a hole in the ground in the woods to bury her dead baby. There are millions of people in America right now that want to shake you awake.
I can't comprehend a human doing it, especially a daughter, doing that to my granddaughter.
In your mind, you know the truth, don't you?
We've been through this for 3 years, and it's the first time I've heard that out of his mouth.
That's next time.
Just for the record, I have not and will not be interviewing Casey Anthony. I have zero interest in doing so. I personally believe that her actions have spoken louder than any words. Now, as for Cindy, I feel this mother is desperately reaching for any reason to excuse her daughter for her role in this tragedy. In our time together, she advanced 3 main theories: brain tumor, postpartum schizophrenia, and grand mal seizures. Cindy admits she does not have any medical evidence of a brain tumor, and as a mental health professional, I am frankly skeptical that grand mal seizures would contribute to what happened here. In addition, I have not seen any evidence that Casey suffered from postpartum schizophrenia. Thanks for watching.
Today on Dr. Phil.
My wife and mother hate each other's guts.
I'm giving, loving. She's pushy, overbearing. But now I have an enemy.
So we have warfare here.
It's a battle to keep her husband.
Did you put him on a dating website?
I did.
To keep her kids.
You take my children from me, the gloves are off. All I was doing was trying to take my children out of an unhappy...
You said my children. They're not your children.
My grandchildren.
To keep her sanity.
Mark has to cut the cord with his mother.
If I cut that cord, they don't have a home.
She does own the home that we live in.
She has made him appointments with divorce lawyers.
Did you pay a divorce lawyer for him?
Yes.
I hate my daughter-in-law.
Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, 3, take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Go, Dr. Phil. What would cause 2 grown women to lunge at each other? Jealousy over a guy, vicious insults, or a daughter-in-law who says she's had it up to here with who she's calling a controlling mother-in-law? Well, the answer is all the above, and Rita's here today because she wants her husband to finally cut the cord with his mother. Take a look.
My husband doesn't want to cut off the ties with his mom.
Hey, Mom, how are you? We have that bond that's pretty strong.
Deborah has coddled Mark. She's crippled him from being a man.
Rita feels like I'm very controlling, like he's literally attached to my bosom.
I don't want to have to pick sides.
Deborah is an active member in my relationship with my husband. It feels like a 3-way marriage because they own the home that we live in, the vehicles, the insurance, his cell phone. My husband works for them.
So we're going to sub it out?
Yeah, please.
Mark is afraid to do things by himself, buying a vehicle, getting a house, paying bills.
She's jealous.
of my sons and my relationship. It's never going to change.
There's a lot of responsibility being my mother's rock.
I think that Mark's like a puppet on his mother's strings. If Mark broke the hold that his mother has on him, it would crush her.
Rita is biting the hand that feeds her. I've forked out thousands of dollars to just make their life easier.
I can't continue to live life like this anymore.
I want to shake him sometimes and say, be a man. Stand up to her. Mark has to cut the cord with his mother because if something doesn't change, it is going to be the end of our marriage.
Well, the tension between these two women, well, it's just reached a breaking point. Take a look.
My wife and mother hate each other's guts and have a lot of resentment towards each other. My mother said, I hate your wife.
I know my mother-in-law hates me. She says it frequently.
Well, this is a portfolio of my son and Rita's wedding. I replace pictures and I took her out.
The whole family hates me.
My mother has said Rita is a downgrade.
Mark usually went for smart, witty, very attractive girls.
Anybody who knows Mark has heard about his modeling career.
I just always envisioned him with a supermodel.
Rita and I come from different sides of the tracks.
He flashed around money a lot.
Rita saw a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow with Mark.
She doesn't like that I came from a poor family.
Rita has learned how to be more of a lady, but her background, she slips back into that when she's angry.
This is where Deborah and I had our biggest confrontation. She said, "You're a horrible mother, I feel sorry for your kids." I started yelling things at her. She turned around, "I'll hit you right here and now." I said, "Please hit me, I would love to have a reason to hit you." We started come at each other, and my husband pulled me back into the house as her husband was pulling her back.
I am afraid of her violence. I am afraid of Rita.
My mom would say things like, I would pay anything for you to leave that bitch.
She has made him appointments with divorce lawyers.
Mark hired a divorce attorney, but I did provide the money that he needed. I have said I hate my daughter-in-law.
Okay, well, I'm here with Rita and Mark and Deb, and you know, we have to, when there's three people, you have to have two on one side and one on the other, but I'm not sure who ought to be sitting where here. Who's the couple here?
My wife and I.
Yeah, I got you. You filled out the paperwork, but where's the closest relationship and connection here?
My wife and I have a really close relationship, but I have a special bond with my mother, and that makes it really hard for me.
Do you think that this is a good relationship?
No.
And you want her gone?
Yes.
And look, we just have to be honest here, because look, one of the things I do, one of the things that's kind of been my defined trademark way of doing things is I just cut to the chase scene. And I can only do that if people are honest. So when I ask you that, yeah, you kind of waffled, but then you gave me an honest answer, which thank you for. You want her gone, right? You want him to get rid of her, be done with her.
Yeah.
You want him to divorce her.
Yes.
You hate her?
It did not start out as hate, but there's some real deep emotions, real deep cuts, and that's caused me to hate her.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about your mother-in-law?
She's pushy, overbearing, she's a liar, she's judgmental, she's critical.
Well, each of these women uses strong language to describe each other. Here's how Rita sees her mother-in-law. She says Deb is deceitful, two-faced, shallow, backstabbing, sneaky, conniving, materialistic, and judgmental, enabling son to a crippling point, controlling with money. That's her resume for you.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
It's not the truth. It's absolutely not the truth.
Are you backstabbing?
No.
Are you sneaky and conniving?
No.
Have you actually, no kidding, bottom line, gone behind her back and tried to overtly sabotage her marriage to your son?
No.
Did you recruit a divorce lawyer for him?
No.
Did you pay a divorce lawyer for him?
Yes.
Did you put him on a dating website?
Yes, she did.
I did. It was for fun because I also put myself and my 80-year-old mom just for amusement.
That's amusement.
Well, let's take a look at this tape.
Mark tells me quite often that he is not in love with Rita and he's miserable. So on a whim, I just set up profile for him on these dating websites.
My mother told me that she had started a profile.
He said, well, what would you say about me? And I said, looking for someone who can share my soul on a spiritual level.
My mother got lots of emails that there was women interested in me.
We would see these matches, people that totally weren't cut out, and just laughingly, oh my gosh, look at what they sent you today.
My mother's objective was showing me options that I had if I were to split with Rita.
Mark wants to love passionately with everything that he has. He does not feel that way about Rita.
What do you think about that? You didn't know that until right now.
She's disgusting to me. I don't, who does that?
Apparently you do. And you said, look, we agreed to be honest.
Yep.
And you said, oh, I just did that for amusement. I put myself, my 80-year-old mother, et cetera, et cetera. Well, whatever you want to do, whatever your 80-year-old mother wants to do, but to me, that really jumped out at me because that is an overt effort to undermine this marriage. Did you see it that way?
I did see it that way, and when I went on the website myself and looked at it, there was no way I was going to put up a photo because she had asked me, she said, you have to finish this profile, you have to put up a photo. And when I went on the website, I'm seeing people from my church, my community.
Why did you go on the website?
Just to see what she was talking about and what she had started and to see what she was doing.
Wow.
Can I defend myself?
I don't know.
My son actually brought up christianmingle.com in that conversation before I even went and did that on the website.
Okay, but see, marriage...
Having to be faith-based makes it so much better.
Yeah, that's
I think
what
that makes it worse.
That's what he
disgusting.
said.
You're representing a Christian woman. Is that what you want society to see as a Christian? That's what you're putting out there to people? I'm embarrassed to be a Christian if that's a Christian woman.
I want my son to be happy.
See, let me tell you why I'm thinking about this in this way. How old are you, Mark?
29.
See, I have a son that's 32 and another one that's 24, and the 32-year-old is married, has 2 children. So I thought about this last night. What would have to go through my mind to actually call my son and say, I want you to go to this dating website to see what you could have if you got rid of her? And how I would respond to her if that came up. And I have to tell you, I couldn't get my brain to go there.
I've watched him literally cry. And it was done it was just a silly little whim that he mentioned going on a dating website. It came from him. And so we just set up the profile. It took less than 2 minutes, and then I said, we're not finishing this because they want a picture.
So you're trying to trivialize it now?
Yeah, it wasn't a serious thing.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Okay.
you know.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When was this?
A month ago.
Okay, now why does she want to get rid of her so bad? We'll be right back.
If you ever try to come between me and my children, I will expose you for what you really are.
And so you did that?
I chose to do it,
So
to get
you-
my children back.
No one's ever hurt me like that.
And later,
Mark had come home late at night. He was high, and I confronted him. I just snapped and went into full-on attack mode. And I was just punching at him.
let's take a look at what Deb thinks about her daughter-in-law. She says that Rita is crazy, violent, trashy, from hillbilly losers, scummy lowlifes, a bad mom, bad housekeeper, lazy, jealous of her relationship with her son, undeserving of her son. I blank hate that bitch. Now, those are all quotes from you about her, which would explain why you would be wanting him to get rid of her.
Yes.
What do you think about that resume that she's assigned to you?
I just think it shows Deb's true colors.
Well,
I don't
wait
think
till
that,
we show your true
that
colors.
statement has to do
Let's
anything
show your
with me
true
as a
colors,
person.
Rita, and then maybe they'll understand my perspective.
So tell us about those true colors. Let's get it on the table.
Rita is probably the most violent person I've ever met in my life. Her ways to a means is to use physical aggression. She has literally hurt my grandchildren. She has caused me some of the most cutting wounds to my heart and said some of the most evil, degrading things to me. I have no enemies in the entire planet. I have a heart bigger than the Pacific Ocean. Literally, but now I have an enemy. I have a person who hates, despises me, calls me toxic and poison, and I am none of those things. I'm giving, loving. I've done so much for this family, and I do it out of love, and she always points it as an ulterior motive to self-satisfy and gratify me. And she betrayed the most huge confidence. She took something that I confided in her at a period in our time, in our lives when we were close, and tried to destroy me because my son and her, their marriage was disintegrating, and she threatened me, and she made good on those threats, and you just don't do things like that to your family.
And what did she do?
She betrayed a confidence in a courtroom that could have, what she told me was she's going to destroy my marriage. She's going to air all my dirty laundry. She's going to go to my church and tell them that I'm a fake, immoral Christian, and that she's going to ruin my business, and she's going to take me down, because if she's going down, I'm going down with her.
So we have warfare here.
Unnecessary warfare.
Well, it takes, one log won't burn. I mean, it takes two to fight. Now, what happened is Rita played a recording in court that exposed one of her secrets. Now, her husband was in the courtroom, and it almost ended their marriage. We have some of the recorded message. Let's hear it.
When I get back to the house, I just had to drop off the machine. And just to let you know, I would never, ever have done this if you wouldn't have threatened my mom with what you threatened her with.
You're putting our children through absolute hell, Mark, to cover up your mother's infidelity.
I don't care about my mother's
This
infidelity.
isn't about you being scared of me or any of that. This is about protecting your mother. You made this choice. You're putting your children through absolute hell to protect your mother.
What was your whole point in this, and what did you reveal?
She literally threatened to take my children from me, which she initially succeeded in doing. And I said, if you ever try to come between me and my children, I will expose you for what you really are. I will tell your husband about your affairs. I will tell the church what kind of person that you really are. If you take my children from me, the gloves are off.
And so you did that?
I was forced into that.
Well, you weren't forced to do it. You made a choice to do it. You're an adult. You made a choice to do it.
I chose to do it, to get my children back.
You went into court and exposed something that was private to their marriage.
Yes.
And you were offended by that.
No one's ever hurt me like that. No one's ever betrayed me like that. And in defense of protecting the children, she had done something that is traumatizing. I received a phone call about 1:30 in the morning on my cell phone, and my grandchildren were blood-curdling, screaming at the tops of their lungs, "Mommy, stop, please, Mommy, stop." And you can hear her beating the living crap out of my son, coming from a mother, getting my grandchildren, screaming and crying. And when I called the detective to talk to him, I said, "What is going on?" He said, "This is the 9th phone call I've had about domestic abuse." And he says, "I personally have gone out on 4 of them. I was not involved in any of their fighting, their beating him up. All I was doing was trying to take my children out of an unhappy, they deserve to be happy, they deserve to be children and not see all this ugliness between these two people."
You said my children.
My grandchildren, but I'm sorry, they're my grandchildren, and they're my life. They're everything I live for, because I lost a child, okay? And it's destroyed us. All this unraveling has literally taken place since Rachel died.
And you say that she, in fact, implied that you killed that child by being a bad parent.
Yes.
I never said that.
The most cutting, hurtful words, and she tried to retract it, but...
What did she say?
She said, in so many words, oh, you're just such a good parent. You loved your daughter to death, and as a result, she was killed.
Did not say that.
Your parenting got your daughter killed.
She was killed in a car wreck?
Yes.
I hate to be you on Judgment Day, Dad.
Very sorry for your loss, by the way.
Stop making remarks like that, Rita. You are here because you started this. Now you're going to end it.
You see what I have to deal with? It's not fair to me. I would love to have my wife and my mother getting along. These are the two most important women in my life. You know, I love my wife. I love my mom. I know we have had a rough 3 years.
Until you're looking for love on dating websites.
I wasn't looking for love on dating websites. That's not.
Mark never
that's
got
not what
even
took
on the
place.
dating website. He said, let's shut this down right now. Don't even finish this profile. It's not a good idea.
You see what I'm doing?
You admit that you have physically attacked your husband.
Yes. Mark had come home late at night. He was high, and I confronted him and asked him to leave.
I was getting ready to walk out.
And he kind of shoved me to get to the door handle. I just snapped and went into full-on attack mode. And I was just punching at him.
She began hitting me and throwing things at me.
Threw the candle at him, screaming at him, yelling at him, I hate you. Look what you've done to our family. How could you do this to our kids? I was completely detached from any sanity.
The children were screaming, Mommy, Daddy, stop.
I got a call in the middle of the night, a voicemail. It was my 2 grandchildren, blood-curdling, screaming, Mommy, stop, please, stop. And you can hear the violence in the background.
So you wound up with a restraining order against you.
Mm-hmm.
And you signed that?
I did sign that.
And were you afraid for your life, or were you doing this to please your mother?
It wasn't necessarily to please my mother. I was definitely wanting to get her to cool down. My children got to witness this. I have to play my part in it. I was addicted to prescription painkillers, and I took my wife to a point in our marriage, I took her to the brink, and I take full responsibility for that. That's my part in it. And I sit here today 5 months clean, and I'm trying to save my marriage, and I want my mother to back me on that. I want to move forward in my church, with my marriage, with my counselor at home. These are things that I'm working on, improving on. I just recently moved churches and am taking steps to back out of my parents' life. We run a family business together. I can't just go in every day to work and shun my mother. That's not an option for me.
So you work for your mother?
I work for my mother and my father. We're co-owners in a business, and I also started a business that I brought them into. And so it's really intermeshed, and that makes it difficult.
Okay, well, here's what I'm curious about. And listen, y'all have no idea what I think needs to happen here and what I think the violations on all parts are. And we'll be right back.
Deborah will just show up unannounced and just come in the house. You can see her scan the room for things that are untidy or dirty. She'll kind of make a sly joke. Oh, I see that the dog's been spending a lot of time in the window, ha ha ha.
Cleanliness to me is next to godliness, and she doesn't feel like it's important.
Deborah constantly puts me down as a parent. She tries to make me feel like a bad mother.
Rita doesn't feel that extracurricular activities are super important.
Deborah always looks at it as the kids should be doing something constantly.
My little granddaughters told me when we're doing fun things, this is the best day of my life. This is the most fun I've ever had.
I was raised, if you're not happy at home, you're not going to be happy anywhere.
My kids should be doing more of these active things.
I'm willing to go the extra mile and include her.
It's not her place to step in.
Rita's threatened to take the girls away from me and not let me see them ever again.
When Mark does not do things the way she wants, she will say, go take your family and you guys can find another place to live, because that's my house.
The girls told me that Nana and Papa are just our landlords and they're gonna kick us out. I would never do that. What is she telling them?
Do you think that she is crossing boundaries and getting over-involved in your marriage?
There's definite boundaries crossed. She does own the home that we live in, so she voices her opinion quite frequently about that. And, you know, not having the house in my name really is kind of bad for our marriage, definitely. You know, I earn that mortgage. It's not like she pays the rent freely, like that's not what takes place. But not being in my name, I don't feel I get that respect. And so maybe the house does get put to the side. But it's a clean home. The house has to be clean. Our daughter has health problems, and that house has to be clean.
Your mother says it's not clean.
There's certain little things
She doesn't like the windowsill. She doesn't. She comes over and do you inspect this? How do you?
No, it's just I like things to be nice, and I'm always there watching the children because I get invited into their home when she's doing things. I'm always the first one that wants to be there to help the kids, and I don't see anything wrong with a home that's 5 years old that's never had a window cleaned. What's the big deal if I clean the window? What's the
Rita
problem?
and Martin say the house is never clean enough for Deb. Take a look at this, and I want you to respond.
My mother's a neat freak, so the cleanliness of the home bothers her. She believes, since Rita's a stay-at-home mom, that the house could be in a cleanlier shape.
Deborah would just come over unannounced. You can see her scan the room for things that are untidy or messy or dirty. Her favorite thing to criticize is the windows. She'll kind of make a sly joke. Oh, I see that the dogs have been spending a lot of time in the window, ha ha ha.
Every time I go over there, I find something to clean, and it amazes me that it hasn't been cleaned.
If some of the kids have been touching the closet doors a lot, she'll say, oh, your closet doors are looking filthy. Another one of her favorites is my pantry. You should put that cereal in a bin. If you organized your cans, you could find things so much easier and have so much more room. Your sink looks like it's hard to clean. Maybe you don't have the right cleaner. The baseboards are so dirty.
The deep cleaning, I don't believe is getting done there. Cleanliness to me is next to godliness, and she doesn't feel like it's important. She does her best. She could go the extra mile to take care of the home that we provide for them.
Well, Deb says for 10 years she's provided a home for her son and daughter to live in. Now, she says she has provided it. You say you earn it, you work for it. She says she's provided it. Now, her daughter-in-law Rita says that doesn't give her the right to come over whenever she wants. Take a look at this and then we'll discuss it.
Deborah will just show up unannounced and just come in the house.
I don't go over there every day. I may see the girls once a week, maybe twice at the most.
Deborah will typically announce what she has planned for the kids.
If I could, I still want to take the girls to the carnival tomorrow night. That's fine.
That was her pretending to be considerate because you guys were here. I didn't know she was taking them to the carnival. Typically, she would say, remember, I'm taking the girls to the carnival tomorrow.
I would love to be able to come over to their house every day like I used to, unannounced. I don't think anything I've ever done is going to be good enough for Rita.
You don't want her coming over unannounced every day.
I would like a little bit of notice. I think that's common courtesy.
And I've been giving that since I found out that, you know, our family dynamics, we've always been so close that the girls would want me there. I assumed I was welcome in their home. And obviously I'm not welcome, and she's mincing words and saying that I make statements about it being filthy. Well, I have never flat out said this is filthy, but if I'm over there and she's fed me dinner, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to help do the dishes.
You say this about your daughter-in-law, and you say, I just assume
those words are
I would be welcome.
Those words were minced. I believe that a mother who has the privilege of staying home every day with their children shouldn't just constantly think that it's a sin for me to want to do extracurricular things.
But do you think, given what your involvement has been in referring to her as crazy and violent and trashy and hillbilly and losers, that she should open her home and say, oh, please come be among us. Please come be among us. I mean,
this stuff has only come out since the last couple of months, after the whole scene in the courtroom in January.
Oh, I agree but what I'm saying is I'm wondering how you're missing the part about how that would not make somebody open their home to you every day. Because I got family, I get it. I mean, but my attitude has always been, you can call me a sumbitch, but you're going to do it long distance. I'm not going to say, come on down. You can kind of have it one way or the other, but you can't have it both. And if she feels the way about you that we've had up here, why would you want to be around her?
Because I actually did not know
until recently that she felt so strongly
Really?
about me. Yeah.
But it's in clear relief now. You see it now.
Yeah, I do, because when Rita came into our lives and found out we were having a grandbaby, I was so giving and loving to them and moved them immediately into a home that was provided by us. My son hasn't always worked and made those payments during his addictions and his rehabilitation. I've always told her, don't worry about that. Those things are taken care of. I want him to concentrate on getting healthy. But her violent outbursts and her doing that in front of my grandkids, do you know that when they're with me, they cry and they say, Nana, we want to live with you. And I tell them, you can't live with me. I said, that's not an option.
You're correct about that.
That's not an option, you guys. But
it's not an option because they're not your children.
They're not
that's
my children.
Point about boundaries here. And I'm wondering what you really expect her to say, given some of the choices that you've made. We'll be right back.
Deborah doesn't think I'm smart enough for Mark. She doesn't think I'm pretty enough for Mark. She has tried to set my husband up with other women.
With Rita, I just really felt like Mark was settling for less.
I'm wondering what you really expect her to say, given some of the choices that you've made. Did you make an overt effort for Mark to reconnect with his high school girlfriend?
No. No, absolutely not.
There was a text message that was sent a long time ago, and I don't recall this. This is something that my wife talked to me about, that there was an ex-girlfriend in town.
You don't recall it?
Well, Rita says that your mother crossed the line here and tries to fix you up on dates. Take a look at what she said, and you can respond to it.
Okay.
Deborah tells Mark she wants me gone. She wants me out of his life. She doesn't think I'm smart enough for Mark. She doesn't think I'm pretty enough for Mark.
Mark's a chick magnet. He's classy.
She thinks I could do better than my wife.
He has said, I want to be greeted with a smile, dinner on the table.
She has tried to set my husband up with other women. Deb loved Mark's ex-girlfriend.
The one that was his high school sweetheart, he always said, this is the one for me. This is the one I'm going to marry.
Mark told me about getting a message from his mom to have his high school sweetheart and him reconnect that said, I know how to contact her. You should be with her. You need to call her.
With Rita, I just really felt like Mark was settling for less.
I'm his wife and I'm the mother of his children. For her to try to get him to cheat on me, it disgusts me.
Last year, Rita says Mark's mother sent her husband a text asking him to reconnect with an old high school sweetheart. And here's what it said. The ex's name is in town. I know how to contact her. You should be with her. You need to call her.
I'm completely in the dark about this. I don't
didn't send that text?
No, I've never sent it that text. I didn't know that text existed.
Did you get that text?
I did get a text, but like I said, I don't recall it as well as Rita does.
Let me just
That's
say,
going to be seared into a wife's brain. Seriously, I'm serious. That's going to be seared in. What do you want to say about that? But before you answer this question, and then I'll let you say what you want to say.
Okay.
If we're being completely honest, you would like him to hook up with like his ex. You did say you settled for less. You do want him out of this. I mean, you can quibble about whether the text message said what it said, but the truth is all of these things that you think she is beneath him, you thought he was going to be with a supermodel, you think he settled for less, he could get a nice Christian girl, he could this, he could that. The truth is you would love nothing better than for her to go away and him to marry somebody befitting of his values.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay. My daughter was killed in a very tragic car accident almost 4 years ago. Up until that point, this family, we played together. They were in our home having dinner. I have never, ever felt uncomfortable in her home until recently. When she started showing physical violence and really traumatizing those beautiful little innocent children, and then making stabs that I'm responsible for killing Rachel, and then betraying a huge confidence to try and be spiteful and vindictive and destroy my 32-year relationship with my husband. And the way I look at it,
what was meant for evil was turned around for good, because my husband and I are still together, and we are all grieving. We are all still trying to heal. And I have never, ever had any person in my entire life treat me with such disrespect and unappreciation, and she feels like everything's ulterior. And you know what? If I cut that cord, they don't have a home. He doesn't have health insurance. He doesn't have a cell phone. Thousands of dollars. It's just money. I don't care. I just want my son to be happy and to not call me in the middle of the night and say, I'm miserable, Mom. I'm miserable. My son was there for me when my husband couldn't be, when Rachel passed away. And for someone to tell you during your grief that you caused that death, do you know that I forgive the young man that killed her even more than I forgive her for some of the things she's done? She likes to be aggressive physically. It's not the first time that happened with my son, with her getting physical with him.
That is the first time that ever happened. Ask him, have I ever laid a finger on you before that night?
She's pushed me, but she's never
She throws
physically.
things at you.
She's thrown things at me, definitely.
When did I throw something at you other than that time?
You threw something at me about 3 weeks ago.
I did. Yeah, I did. What was it? Yeah, he called me a fat ass. So I threw something at him. What would your wife do, Dr. Phil?
I don't want to know what my wife would do if I called her a fat ass. But
you're smarter than that.
We'll be right back.
My mother called me sobbing and said I just had a run-in with Rita. She said, if my mother ever slaps the child again, that she's given the 6-year-old okay to cold cock my mom. Who does something like that to a little old lady?
I don't care if somebody's 80 or 18. If they're slapping my child, we got a problem. You're concerned about his safety.
I'm more concerned about what it's doing to the kids. Here's an incident that just took place that just sums it all up, why she wants to use physical violence and why she gets so enraged. My mother, who's 80 years old, supposedly slapped my granddaughter in the face. And my mother called me sobbing and said, I just had a run-in with Rita. And I said, why? Where'd you run into her? And she said, she called me on the phone, and she told me that if my mother ever slaps the child again, that she's given the 6-year-old the okay to cold cock my mom, and then you're going to deal with me. And my mentality's like, who does something like that to a little old lady who has done more for those kids than anybody I know on the entire planet?
This is the 4th time she's hit my child in the face.
She didn't hit
and
him.
I just found out about that. And I got on the phone and I said, listen, I've talked to you about this before. You know, I said, I am not against spanking my children. You want to swat her on the butt if she needs it? Go ahead. Don't ever hit my child in the face again. And I said, just to let you know, if you ever do, I told her she can hit you right back. And then after that, you're going to deal with me. Those were my words.
No.
I don't agree with that.
I'm a witness to that.
Thank
you. You weren't there.
No, I'm not talking about what you said. I don't agree with my daughter, Mariah, having physical confrontation with an 80-year-old woman. I do understand that she did get slapped in the face. I totally agree with the favoritism in the relationship.
No, it's a poke in the cheek is different from a slap.
I don't know exactly what happened. We're getting this from a 5-year-old. Can you let me speak for a second? I don't respect the sense of bringing this violence towards my children. This is what I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to stop what I believe is a generational curse in my family, the fighting, the constant bickering. You know, I'm kind of doing the same things that my parents do in their marriage, you know, the fighting and the problems that they've had in their marriage. I see that happening in my marriage, and I want this to stop. I want this to stop. I want to go to, I want it to be over with.
Well, look, and I have to tell you, I don't care if somebody's 80 or 18. If they're slapping my child, we got a problem.
Yeah, I have a problem with it.
That's not okay. I'm just saying if it is.
It's not a slap.
If it is, that's not okay.
I was there, and it's not okay. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see stop.
I want my grandchildren to stop saying, Nana, you're the only one that ever takes us anywhere or does anything.
All right, we've got to take a short break here, and we'll be right back. There are so many things in our life experience that, you know, old sayings get to be old sayings because they're profound. And they say all things in moderation. A mother's love, a father's love, family unity, all of those things are good to a degree. But there's a point at which they become dysfunctional for everybody involved.
My family's way dysfunctional.
For everybody involved. And for you, you have to look at where the children in your family are, and at some point you've got to ask yourself, what do I need to do differently that would bring about a different outcome for all of these children?
I want peace.
It's not just about what you want, and I think that you need to be willing to make some changes. You have a son here that has made some bad choices in his life, true?
Absolutely, yes. We all do.
And he's now saying, I really want to make some right choices. And you need to give him room. You need to give him space. And you too can't give her that message and then invite her back in when it's convenient for you and not when it isn't. If you're going to put up some fence lines, then you need to put up the fence lines and respect those. And I tell you, I think it is an inherently bad deal for you to be working for your mother, living in a house owned by your mother, having your mother pay insurance and this and that and the other. And you say, well, I'll earn all of that stuff. Well, then pay it all. Yeah. You know, you just need to go have yourself a job. I wish it was somewhere besides here.
So do I.
Because I think it is way over involved. And we'll be right back.
Next time on Dr. Phil, is her mother-in-law.
You have said that you hate her.
Destroying her marriage.
If I cut the cord, it means everything is cut.
Look, you don't need to use extortion. And you sit there like, gee, I wish they would get along. It's your job to manage your mother.
Is it too late?
She tore up our wedding vows.
To make things right.
Are you going to cut and run on this marriage and family?
That's next time.
We've got Mom barging in, doing the white glove test. We've got Rita tearing up her wedding vows. You don't want to miss any of how this all unfolds. Thanks for being here. So long.
Today on Dr. Phil, a 12-year-old boy accused of his sister's murder.
I didn't kill her.
Interrogated by police for hours until...
I did it. I'm the one who did that to Kaylee.
But...
This is a false confession.
You think they just bullied and coerced him?
Is he innocent?
It was obvious that he didn't do this crime.
Thomas's DNA was not on anything.
Inside a murder confession.
Did you kill your sister?
No, I did not.
Why did you say you did it?
What happened in that room 6 years ago?
What did you whisper to your mother?
Now, a shocking twist to the story.
I believe my mother killed my sister.
His mother has denied it. In a Dr. Phil exclusive, she finally breaks her silence.
She has never given an interview about that night until now.
You killed your sister. I didn't kill her. I didn't. It'll feel a whole lot better if you just tell me. I didn't. God. I didn't kill her.
That was 12-year-old Thomas Codgel, who was being interrogated for the murder of his 11-year-old sister, Kaylee. Now, you just heard him say he didn't kill her. He said it passionately, and he said it 36 times that he did not kill his sister. How then did he go from that to this?
I did it. I'm the one who did that to Kaylee. It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Did Thomas murder his sister Kaylee? Or was he forced to confess after hours of police interrogation? That's what we're talking about today. Did he or didn't he? Inside a murder confession. Now, according to court documents, this is what we know. At approximately 11:45 on August 7th, 2006, 35-year-old Melody Jones and her son Thomas found 11-year-old Kaylee lying on her bed with 2 plastic Walmart bags over her head. Her hands and feet were bound. Melody called 911 and police took both Thomas and his mother in for questioning. They separated mother and son and spoke to Melody first. Take a look at just a portion of her interrogation.
Tell me about last night. We went in her room. Kaylee was laying there like her head was on her pillow up here and her feet were down here. There was Walmart bags on her head and I took them off because she couldn't breathe. And I tried to wake her up and she wouldn't wake up. I didn't know nothing. I didn't hear nothing last night. And she wasn't alive no more.
Did Thomas and Kaylee get along good?
Sometimes when she wasn't pissing him off.
Does he get mad easy?
Sometimes. That's why he's on medication. He's been having anger problems. I don't think he hurt her. And he worries me because he holds things in though.
Yeah.
He don't sometimes when he gets mad.
What does that mean?
Well, it's like he gets this like blank look on his face.
When was this?
When he gets angry, that's when he goes to his room. He walks away, you know, because he's been taught that, you know, because I won't have no violence. It was a procedure to think it was the brother.
Well, we just have to eliminate everybody that we can. We need to talk to Thomas.
Okay.
And I would like to talk to him alone, if that's okay with you. We're nice guys.
I know.
After Melody gave police permission to talk to her 12-year-old son alone, Thomas' interrogation began. Here is again just a portion of the first 2 hours.
You know why you're here to talk with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us what happened.
6 o'clock, we went to the church service till 9. Then we left and came home. After that, Kelly got my mom a hug and kiss. My mom went to bed, I went out in the living room and read. And I fell asleep.
What time did your mom wake you up?
I don't really know. She got up at 6. I think she woke me up and sent me in my room.
Thomas, what do you think happened to your sister?
I don't know.
I mean, what do you think? I mean,
That she was
everybody has.
suffocated.
Why do you think that?
Because her hands and feet were tied.
How were they tied?
Don't know, they're not. I couldn't get it undone, neither could my mom.
Why do you think she was suffocated?
Because she had a bag on her head, actually 2 of them.
Did you touch her or try to help her?
Well, my mom went there and yanked the bags off my head.
Describe what she looked like.
She was all blue.
What'd you do then?
She said, Mom said, call 911. I went over there, picked up her hands and screamed because her face was all weird.
So her face looked all weird?
Yeah, it was all blue and her eyes were closed and she wasn't moving. So I went to find my mom's phone. My mom called 911.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I think somebody might have broken in and suffocated her. I didn't see any evidence of anybody breaking in, just...
Well, Thomas, something obviously happened last night. And we don't see any evidence of anybody coming in, okay?
Okay.
Let me start by saying, we're here to help you and your mother, okay?
Okay.
And we got some things we got to work through. But you got to be flat honest with us.
I am being...
So we can help you, okay?
Okay.
Thomas, we think that you might have possibly went in there last night. I think maybe y'all were role playing and it got out of hand or went wrong?
I wasn't forcing off my sister, nothing. As soon as she went into a room to lay down, I didn't go in there again.
Never went in there again?
Never, not that night.
Thomas, I'm with the state police, and I've been kind of listening to some of the story that you've been telling.
Yeah.
So your sister died, and there was only 2 people in the house that could have killed her.
Okay.
You or your mother. Okay. That's the only way it can be, boy. There ain't no other way. Okay. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, she'd been dead about 6 to 8 hours when she was found.
Okay.
And that puts you awake at the time she was killed.
Okay.
I want you to tell me what happened.
Okay.
Will you do that for me?
Yeah.
Okay? You gonna tell me the truth this time? Did your mother kill her?
Not that I know of.
You don't know? That would leave a man of normal intelligence to think what happened. What?
That I killed her.
That's correct. I really want to know why.
Why what?
Why you would kill your sister.
I wanted.
But you had to. If your mother didn't, that just leaves you.
Well, I didn't kill her. I know I didn't.
You know you didn't?
Yes, I know I didn't.
Well, then how did she wind up like that?
I don't know. I seriously don't know. I didn't kill her.
You killed your sister.
No, I didn't kill her. I didn't.
It'll feel a whole lot better if you just tell me.
I didn't. God. I didn't kill her. I did not.
Then who killed her? It had to have been you, son.
I didn't do it. I didn't kill my sister. I didn't kill her. Come on.
Well, I agree. She didn't deserve to die like that. And I don't know what your intent was. The only thing I want to know is why.
I didn't do it. I didn't. I didn't kill my sister. Is there any way I can prove that to you?
It's going to be difficult.
I didn't do it.
And why are you crying for?
Because you're accusing me of something I didn't do. You accused me of killing my sister.
I said it was you or your mother.
I didn't do it. I didn't.
About 2 hours later, Thomas said he was hungry and asked for food. Now, the police turned off the recorder. 3.5 hours later, at approximately 10:30 p.m., the police turned the recorder back on, and Thomas' story changed.
If you would, let's just start from the beginning. What happened last night at your house between you and your sister that led up to where we are today, right now?
I was playing my video game, and then I heard some noise. I stepped out in the hall, and it came from Kelly's room. So I knocked on the door, she came in the house and said, "What?" I asked, "Turn down your TV, please." She said, "No, you're just a little boy," and shut the door in my face. My frustration kept on building and building. Finally, I grabbed the trash bags, went into her room. She was asleep with the TV still on. So I put the trash bags over her head, and I held them in there for a few minutes. I turned off the TV, went in the living room, and got the things tied to slow down so she don't try to kill me. Tied her wrists and her hand and feet after pulling her arms out from under her. Then I went back and read.
And that's basically your story in a nutshell right there. You just got to a point where you wanted to what, make a point to her?
Yes. She disrespects some people. It might be the wrong person if something bad happens to you.
Okay, so you're afraid she's going to come too, and she's going to hurt you. So you go to the living room?
Yes, sir.
And you get what?
The dog leash that's often on the table, and the cloth measure that's beside it.
What'd you do with the dog leash?
I tied it around her hands.
And this was all because she had disrespected you and made you angry. Were you trying to kill her?
No, I was just trying to teach her a lesson, not to disrespect people. And then
I guess I held on to it back too long.
Your mom found her that morning. Did you realize then that she was dead?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel?
Shocked. Scared.
You didn't think she would die?
No.
You know that your mom is going to find this out.
Yes.
Would you like for her to come in now and you tell her?
Okay. I'll do it.
I just wanted, for the record, that you did allow us to talk to Thomas. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thomas would like to talk to you.
Okay, you understand? I did it. I'm the one who did that to Kaylee. It was an accident. I'm sorry. Okay? An accident? Yeah, because she kept on disrespecting me. I didn't want to kill her, Mom. I just wanted to teach her a lesson. She kept on disrespecting me and you. I'm sorry. She would have done better. I love you. I love you too. I'm sorry.
Psychologically, some things bother me about this. That camera's off for 3.5 hours. And it's a completely different story after the camera's off. So what happened during that time and why turn the camera off? That bothers me. The fact that any parent would allow their child, particularly one having just gone through the trauma of finding out that a sibling had been killed, to go into a room with police officers or any authority figures and be interrogated is just beyond comprehension to me. Now, Thomas is here, and I'm going to ask him the hard questions next.
They started telling me that it was either me and my mom that had to have killed my sister. And I was telling them I didn't do it.
Well, I didn't kill her.
That was when they threatened me with the death penalty. I didn't want to die.
Well, today we're taking you inside a murder confession. Now, Thomas Cogdell was just 12 years old when he was interrogated for over 5 hours for the murder of his 11-year-old sister, Kaylee. Now, this happened without any adults present, no lawyer, no mother, no parent, no grandparent, nothing. Now, after repeatedly denying that he killed her, Thomas confessed to his sister's murder. Was he finally telling the truth, or was he doing what he thought was expected and would get him out of trouble? Here's what he says happened.
I think the worst thing that happened to me in my life would have to be losing my sister and waking up to find her. I was woke up by my mother saying we had a surprise for Kaylee, my sister. So we walked into my sister's room and she was laying on her bed and she was tied up, had bags over her head. And my mom started crying and screaming and hollering. So my mom told me to go get the phone. She called 911. She started screaming at them. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if she was dead. I was told to go to the police station. When my mom and I were in the interrogation room, she told me to protect her. I didn't know what it was supposed to mean. She just said to protect her because she was scared. They were asking me all these questions about how my life was. And then they started telling me that it was either me and my mom that had to have killed my sister. And I was telling them I didn't do it.
Well, I didn't kill her. I know I didn't.
You know you did?
Yes, I know I didn't.
I went to the police station to be with my grandson and represent him. They said, well, you're not even blood. I said, I was married to his grandparent. I'm still his grandparent. And they said, no, his mother gave us permission to talk to him, and that's all we need. and they threw me out of the police station. They pretty much worked him over.
I really want to know why.
Why what?
Why you would kill your sister.
I want it.
And they kept telling me that it was either you or your mother.
There was only 2 people in the house that could have killed her.
Okay.
You or your mother.
And finally, I just broke down because they wouldn't believe me.
God.
I was extremely scared, and I had these strange men hollering, screaming at me, telling me that I've done something that I didn't do. I just found out my sister was dead just in that interrogation, and I'm alone.
It had to have been you, son.
I didn't do it. I didn't kill my sister. I didn't kill her.
I wasn't on camera. That was when they threatened me with the death penalty. That was when they hollering, screaming at me, saying I had to have done it. I didn't want to die. I originally confessed off camera, and then they helped me shape my story till they were satisfied that it would make sense.
In the tape, you can see where he tells his mom, yeah, this is a lie, but go along with it. I killed my sister. Now can we go home?
I did it. I'm the one who did that to Kaylee.
He had no idea that there was no way he was walking out of there.
When I finally confessed, it was just because I was tired and I was scared. I didn't know it would turn out to be a horrible decision. I just thought I could finally go home.
Thomas came to us in August of 2006. When they got here, he was just a pale, frail, 12-year-old, scared little boy.
My mother hardly ever came to see me. She came like 3 or 4 times. Then every other week she had an excuse. Her car was broke down. She couldn't find a ride. She had no gas. What upsets me the most is I lost my sister and my mother in the same day. And it's just never been the same. I believe my mother killed my sister. I come to that conclusion just from what the cops are telling me. There was no forced entry. The medical examiner's report said it was consistent with the 280-pound person straddling her and suffocating her. And my mother was that weight. She had access, she had opportunity. I just don't see any other possibility.
Well, joining me now is Thomas, his grandfather Steve, and his attorney Dorsey Corbin. So thank you all for being here. And it's been a long time since you've seen that confession, I bet.
It has.
How do you feel as you, by video, are taken back into that room and kind of relive what happened there?
It makes me kind of angry that the police would do that.
Let me ask you straight up and get this out there straight away. Did you kill your sister?
No, it did not.
Did you do anything that led up to her death, intentionally or otherwise?
No.
Did you at any time tie her hands, tie her feet?
No, sir.
Did you at any time put bags over her head?
No.
A week earlier, 2 weeks earlier, a month, was that ever a part of your play or your interaction or teasing her or anything of the sort?
No.
Were your mother and sister fighting or arguing?
They were earlier when we were at the church. Because she was ready, my mother was ready to go, and my sister was out playing with her friends, and she didn't come when my mom called her. So they got angry, and my mom slapped her.
How hard did she slap her?
Hard enough to make her bust a lip.
What did you do when that happened?
I didn't do anything. It's pretty much normal.
Had she slapped you?
Yes, sir.
In the face?
Yes, sir.
When did you find out that your sister was actually dead?
At the police station.
Why did you say you did it? Why did you say you did it?
Because I was tired, I was scared. They wouldn't accept anything else from me, and they said if I didn't confess, they would give me the death penalty.
When did they tell you that? Because I watched all the tape and I didn't see that.
And that was when I was off camera, when they were feeding me.
So what did you say when they said that? How did you tell them okay?
He left the room. I said, oh, you can bring him back in here, I'll say I did it.
Still off camera?
Yes, sir, still off camera.
We saw what you ultimately said. How did y'all get to that story?
They kept giving me suggestions, different scenarios that would make sense, and I just picked the ones I thought they wanted to hear the most.
Now, Steve, while all this is going on, you've heard what's happened, and you go to the police station.
Yes, sir.
And you're raising all Billy hell out there, saying, I want to talk to my grandson.
Well, my niece helped the coroner collect my granddaughter's body. She came home and told me that Thomas was in an interrogation room with nobody. And I went to the police and said, that's not right. And they said, just get out. You're not a blood relative. And I said, I'm his grandfather. And they wouldn't listen to me or anybody else.
Dorsey, did they have the right to turn him away because he was not a blood relative?
In Arkansas, yes, sir.
So they had the right to turn him away?
Once the mother gave permission, that was it. We've been trying to get them to change the law so that if you have an adverse interest, you can't give permission for your child, because that kind of defeats the purpose.
So they go through this until you kind of get a story that they say makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you then rehearse it?
Yes,
Did you
sir.
go through it? They said, okay, tell me?
Yes, sir. They made sure I had got it down and that everything was checked out.
And then what happened? They said, okay, let's go back in?
Yes, sir. Then we went back on camera and I gave my interrogation, or my confession.
There are two things I want to ask Thomas about after the break. First, why would Thomas' mother ask him to protect her? And what did he whisper in her ear when she came into the interrogation room after the break? Thomas Cogdill was just 12 years old when he says police forced him to confess to the murder of his 11-year-old sister, Kaylee. Now, his attorney, Dorsey Corbin, took his case all the way to the Supreme Court. The case was overturned, the confession was suppressed, and then the state never retried Thomas. But to this date, no one has been charged with the murder, no one has been convicted of the murder. There's been no resolution of Kaylee's death, correct?
Yes.
Thomas confessed to the murder of his sister. Then they said, you're going to need to tell your mother. So she comes in and he leans over and whispers something in his mother's ear. Take a look at this.
Mom. Okay, you understand? I did it.
Okay. What did you whisper to your mother?
I told her not to worry, that what I was about to tell her was not the truth, and that they would not find any evidence to link me to what had happened, that I didn't do it.
And then you lean back and you say, understand? She says yes, and you say, I did it. And then she says, why? What did you think when she said, why? Why did you do it?
I didn't know why she was asking me that after I just told her that I didn't do it.
Let's talk about what the medical examiner found in this.
I asked the medical examiner, was Kaylee's death consistent with a 286-pound person laying on top of her and holding her head into the pillow? The answer to that question was yes. He said in his confession that he had tied her hands and feet. Thomas's DNA was not on anything, neither the dog leash nor the tape that was used to bind Kaylee. So those things are all certainly evidence that he did not commit this murder.
Up next, our exclusive interview with Thomas's mother, Melody.
I don't know what happened to her that night. I didn't hear anything. The dog didn't bark. Thomas didn't hear anything. People think I threw Thomas under the bus. They think I didn't protect him. I didn't protect Kaylee. I should have done more.
Thomas Cogdill says police forced him to confess to the murder of his younger sister, Kaylee, when he was just 12 years old. So what really happened that night? Who killed that innocent 11-year-old girl? Thomas sadly believes his mother, Melody, is the real killer and that she set him up for and let him take the fall. She has never been charged with anything regarding Kaylee's murder. She denies she killed her daughter, and has never given an interview about that night until now.
The night that Kaylee died, I went to sleep, and Thomas was reading and Kaylee was watching television. And I got back up the next morning about 6. Thomas and I walked into the room. She looked normal, like she was just sleeping. When I took the Walmart bag up, she wasn't sleeping. The coroner told us that Kaylee's death happened in between 2:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was asleep until 6. I was brought in for questioning. I really don't know how I felt during the interrogation.
I didn't know nothing. I didn't hear nothing last night.
It's like a blank. I'm not saying I blacked out. I'm just saying that there's a lot that I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what medication I was on at the time of this, but I had been diagnosed with bipolar.
He don't sometimes when he gets mad.
What does that mean?
It's like he's not there.
I didn't feel in my heart that Thomas was under suspicion. When they asked to talk to him without an attorney, the first thing I'm thinking is, we don't have anything to hide.
We need to talk to Thomas.
I never found out exactly what they said to him, so I don't know how it got to that point where he confessed. Thomas went and whispered to me, "Don't worry, I didn't do it." And then he sat back and he said, "I did it." They took him into custody. I do not believe at all that Thomas murdered his sister. People think I threw him under the bus. They think I didn't protect him, I didn't protect Kaylee. But I should have done more. I did not kill Kaylee. I love my daughter, I love my son. There's no way that I would have done that to my daughter.
What's your reaction to that tape?
She's still trying to get away with it.
You believe she killed your sister?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that just because you were the only two there, or are there other things that cause you to believe that?
Just because what I've heard from police, what I've heard from medical examiners before, I can't come to any other conclusion.
I want to be very clear, because she's not here to talk about this, although we invited her to be here. But she has never been charged with anything regarding the murder of Kaylee and denies any involvement in the crime whatsoever. So I need to say these are just allegations. Jay Salpeter, former New York City police detective turned private investigator, has been involved in over 100 interrogations, and he says he can get anybody to confess to anything. What went on here?
It's a classic case of false confession. At the end of every confession, they give you an out. The out is a lie, but in reality, he went to jail.
So you're saying, based on what you've heard, based on what Thomas says, you think they just bullied him and coerced him?
He was not going home until he confessed, and he wasn't going home. He was going to jail.
Why do you suppose they chose him instead of her?
Because it's taking candy from a baby, who, like you said, who's going to be easier to confess? A child. I mean, it was obvious that he didn't do this crime. He held up very strong. But once he went off, bingo, they took him.
All right, up next, how Thomas is coping now and what I want him to know when we come back. Well, Tina Studebaker, director of the Lance Lurie Juvenile Detention Center, is joining us via Polycom. She saw Thomas when he was first placed in the juvenile facility. Tina, thank you so much for joining us here. You knew from the beginning that this child did not commit this crime. How did you know?
He was just a sweet-spirited young man, and myself nor my staff ever thought that he was guilty of this crime.
You saw something, you felt something different here.
He had been with us approximately 152 days, and he did a worksheet, and he stated on this worksheet that 152 days ago, I confessed to a crime I didn't do to protect my mother. And we immediately sent the information to his attorney, but obviously it didn't help in his trial because they still found him guilty.
You know, we hear so many stories and horror stories about what happens when juveniles go away, but it's nice to pull back the curtain and see that there are real people there that treat these young folks as human beings. And God bless you for doing what you did here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Now, I want to say, we did reach out and invited the Camden, Arkansas Police Department to participate in the show. They replied, no comment. So, tell me what's on your horizon right now. What are you doing? What do you want to do?
I'm saving up money to go to college.
Do you have your high school diploma?
I have my GED.
Mm-hmm. So you're eligible to go to school?
Yes, sir.
And you're still living with your grandfather?
Yes, sir.
And he's been there for you every step of the way, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
And God bless you for doing that, sir. Well, I want to tell you what I want to do. We have a Dr. Phil Foundation that helps kids that have been disadvantaged in the situation, and I'm going to put up a link there for people to have an opportunity if they want to help you get a start and get going as far as your tuition, because I know when you're working just day to day, hour by hour, coming up with $1,000 is like a huge deal, right? So we're going to give people an opportunity to make a contribution to help you get jump started there. And the Dr. Phil Foundation is going to start that with a donation of $5,000 to go towards your education and get you started in that way, because it's time something good happened to you. Don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Would that be all right with you?
Yes, I would.
All right, we can do that. So we want to help you with the school. We're going to put a link up on our website to the Dr. Phil Foundation if you want to contribute to help this young man get a running start back in his life. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
As we go to break, I would like to remember that there was a tragic victim in this, in addition to Thomas, 11-year-old sister Kaylee. We'll share this with you as we go to break.
I thank my sister a lot. I hope she would be proud of me.
Kaylee was a lot of fun. She loved spending the weekends with me and my wife. She loved doing anything that let her get out in the public and run around, shopping. She loved movies, and she was always smiling and laughing. She was actually a pistol. She was a wonderful, loving little kid. It's exactly what everybody would want their granddaughter to be.
One of the things that I want you to know, we've been on the air for 10 years now, and I've always said that I have this knack for getting into jobs where somebody does all the work and I get all the credit. And nothing could be more true than here at the Dr. Phil Show. These stories don't just happen. Our staff works literally around the clock. And today's show, for example, was produced by Julie Ross and her team. Now, she is a senior producer. She has been with the show since day one, 10 years since we started. She was here. And she's produced many of our behind the headline shows, and probably one of her toughest shows ever was teaching me to dance, if you can imagine. I want to introduce you to Julie, but before you meet her in person, take a look at this.
The minute I saw him on Oprah, I knew I wanted to work for Dr. Phil. I've been here for 10 years. I'm particularly driven by the headline stories. This year alone, my team has done things from the suicide of Rebecca Zahau, the cruise ship disaster in Italy, to the double murder-suicide with Josh Powell. One of my most favorite shows so far is when we did a show with Dancing with the Stars. My favorite moment of that show was when Dr. Phil and Robin did this dance. They had one of the pro dancers teach them a dance. And it's really cool to see how much they love each other. The fact that he was willing to go outside of his comfort zone, it was a very precious moment to have in my show. I was a producer who got to do the first intervention with Brandon. My team's been nominated a few times for the Prism Award. We finally won this year. Brooke, my associate producer, got to accept the award. I was really excited for her that she got to do that. I'm really proud of my team. Along with Brooke Turner, I have Michael Lutz, who's my segment director, who's amazing, and my new production assistant, Courtney Holloway. And I absolutely love my supervising producer, Angie Krause. She's not only a great supervisor, but she's a really good friend. Something else I really have a passion for is horses. And right now I have one horse, her name is Malibu. She is a gorgeous Palomino quarter horse, and you can often find this on any given day riding through Griffith Park. I had my own Dr. Phil sort of crisis. My sister passed away, and then my parents both died shortly after that. Dr. Phil and Robin and my executive producer Carla really stepped up to the plate for me and gave me time off, and to let me know that to take as much time as I needed. While I feel like I lost my family on one hand, as cliche as it sounds, I really feel like I have gained another one here. When I came back, I brought a little sidekick with me. His name is Reno, and he now clearly runs the office. He's got a girlfriend in every cubicle. I really love my job. The stories that I get to be a part of, these people that we get to meet every day, and the fact that we don't just tell their story, but we actually get to help them through their crisis with Dr. Phil. It's incredibly rewarding, and I can't think of another place I'd rather be.
Well, Julie, come on out. Well, this is Julie Ross, and this is the killer dog Reno, right here. Hey, pup. So, what's the most rewarding thing about being here and working with the stories that you do?
Today reminded me of just why I feel like I'm meant to be here and love to be here. What you ended up doing for Thomas. I knew that he needed to see you. I knew he needed to be here and tell his story, and I knew it. And then when you came through at the end of the show, that is why I'm here. Thank you.
Anyway, I wanted y'all to know there are real people behind this show that do all the work. So, Julie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, see you, Reno. All right, I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Private Investigator Jay Salpeter. Thank you for your expertise in all of this. Be sure to check out his book, A Criminal Injustice. And for more information on today's show, go to drphil.com. We're going to have a link there for this young man that will be under the Dr. Phil Foundation. Thanks for being here. So long.